Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hey y'all. Good afternoon. Come on in the room. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hi. Welcome into the room. My name is Renata. I am. We go by Queen Fitness here on this app. I am the host of the Breaking Free from Invisible Bars podcast. Breaking Free from Invisible Bars podcast is all about emotional healing and deliverance. My topic for today is the weight of grief. I came on this afternoon to share with you guys, how important it is to grieve in a healthy manner. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Um, I'm talking today about grief. This is the Break Your Free from Invisible Bars podcast. I am the host and the author of Break Your Free from Invisible Bars. I am coming on to share with you guys how important how to actually maneuver your way through the grieving process. So, um, I am a minister of the gospel, and I believe, that we are stronger together. It's my assignment today to talk about grief. I know that Mother's Day is coming up next weekend, and I am one who has to celebrate my mother's memory and no longer being able to celebrate my mom. And so coming on here for me is it's a catharsis moment. It's an opportunity for me to actually process, how I am going to make it through next weekend. Not being sit up in my bed crying and wallowing over the fact that she knows she's no longer here, but I'm finding ways to honor her memory. And this one of the things that I'm going to do is dedicate this episode of the Breaker Free from Invisible Bars to my mama's memory. So many times when we are not in the person's shoes, we don't understand what it is like to be having to find a new normal, right? To really figure out how am I going to make it and how am I going to go forward now that I no longer have them here. And so for me, the ways of me being able to even on my shirt, this is a picture of me and my little sister. My little sister is the co-author of Breaking Free from Invisible Bars. She transitioned to be with the Lord in 2022. And so I had to learn how to find me ways to celebrate and honor their memory for me to gain strength to be able to continue to show up in my own life. And so one of the things that I did to honor my sister's memory is finishing the work that we were working on, which is the book Break Free from the Invisible Bars. And this is the podcast that was birthed out of the work that we were doing together in ministry. But I'm coming on today to encourage people's hearts who may be in the beginning phase of the grief process. Sometimes when you're at the first begin and it's fresh for you, it's hard for you to really just even breathe. Sometimes when I first lost my mama, it was so hard for me to just people would mention my mama and I would just automatically just break down in tears. I would just be dealing with anxiety, dealing with difficulty sleeping at night. I had so many issues associated with the weight of grief that I had to literally get a Christian counselor who would actually pray with me and cover me and actually help me walk through this process so I can understand, that grief sometimes it can be so overbearing for us as individuals that we just want to check out of our own natural life. I wanted to spend a lot of time in fantasy land, watching TV, on social media, doing our sis, we still feel and see them in us. Right, that's it. We still see and feel them. It's ways to honor and connect with them, even though they're not physically here anymore. And so, what I had to learn how to do when my mother-in-law passed away, at first for me, it was so overwhelming. I got lost in grief, and I started just being just depressed. And I spent so much time in bed that I really, just wasn't really. I was on autopilot in my own life. And so, after that experience, I said, I'm not going to. When I lose somebody else, I'm not going to do it that way. I understand, that it took so much out of me being lost in grief. And so I had to find healthy ways to process my grief. So when my mama passed, having 3 years later after my mother-in-law passed, my mama passed, I seen what those 3 years prior was like, me processing the loss of my mother-in-law. I said, I'm not going to do it that way. So I started to find ways to honor my mama's memory. the first thing I did, because I knew I had gained so much weight with my mother-in-law, I found ways to start working out. I started like throwing myself into my health and wellness journey. And so I started getting back up because I started my health and wellness journey in 2014, and I had lost right before my mother-in-law passed, I had lost 30 pounds. But when my mother-in-law passed, I gained those 30 pounds back plus an additional 15 pounds. So I found myself 45 pounds further away from my goal than I had initially been because of the weight of grief. And so I know that if we don't do it right, we can end up finding ourselves, like I said, in that binge eating and TV fantasy land and stuck in all these old paradigms, old places that don't serve us. So what I found, I said, okay, in order to honor my mama's memory, I decided to get up and start working out. I got in a fit camp and I started joining these boot camps and doing things like that because my mama was proud of me when I was losing weight. She was honoring the fact that I was doing it right. And so I said, well, this is way I can honor her memory by getting up and doing something that I know would have brought joy to her, would have put a smile on her face if she had been here. Then I said, okay, well, I had made a vow to my mama before she passed that I would go back to school. So I went back to school. I was really messed up. I was messed up when my mama passed too. Trust me, I get it. When my mama passed, I was so heartbroken, and I was like literally, like I said, I was struggling to even sleep at night. I was just angry. I was dealing with all kinds of ranges of emotion, and I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I didn't mean to snap on everybody around me, but I just didn't know how to deal. You know, I just didn't know how to get through it. So I had to eventually my husband was like, "You gonna need to get some help because you know it's getting so bad. Like you need some help. I can't help you with this. I love you, but I want to help you, but I just don't know how to help you because men are rational and women are emotional, and he didn't understand the whole feeling thing. He just, you know, when his mama passed, he just, okay, mama ain't here no more, and just made the steps and got up and kept moving. But for me, I got lost in it, and so he was like, "You're gonna have to get some help." And so I did. I took his advice, and I got a thank you for the gifts contributing to my live goal. Thank you for coming into the room. So what I did was I brought my therapist on last month. Her name is Patricia Cabinets. She go by Coach Trish here on TikTok. So I brought her on last week, but because she was just setting up her account, she wasn't able to actually access the live. But I'm gonna bring her back. But I went to Coach Trish, and I would go to Coach Trish at least once every. At first, I started out with every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, I would go to her, and I would sit down. Blessings to you as well. I would sit down. We would pray, and she would talk to me about how I was feeling, and she would give me different assignments, and she helped me mentally to process the fact that my mama was no longer here. So she got me to a place where I was no longer, you know, just over every time her name was mentioned, overwhelmed with tears or just snapping on people or just sitting here just dealing with anxiety and just shaking because somebody mentioned my mama. So she got me through that phase, and I got out of the place of where I was struggling to just not even be able to sleep at night. And so now I've got to a place where I was resting. Started finding positive things to do. Like I said, getting in that boot camp and then going back to school. I started finding positive things to do that will honor my mama's memory. So I finished and I got I graduated from college. I got my associate's degree, and my degree I did that in loving memory of my mama, because at the end of the day, there are still, even though they're no longer here, we still have life we have to live, and we still have to find our way to show up for those people who are here, who are dependent on us, who love us and who need us. I know I am a wife, I am a mother, and I needed to still be able to function, to be able to show up in life so that my husband wouldn't have to raise our son by himself, so that I could be able to regardless of how heavy the weight of grief is, bills still keep coming, right? You still gonna have to pay them bills. So I still had to get up and go to work so that I could be able to make sure that my ends would still meet, even though my heart was broken. And even though I felt like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. But I thank God that on the other side of all of that, like I said, eventually my mom passed away in 2018. So here I am now, 2025. I'm in a place where I'm able to be confident and strong enough that I could speak about my mama in a way that it brings joy to me. It brings joy to me to have the mama that I had. I'm grateful that I had a mama that loved me, that was sacrificial. I saw my mom, so much strength in my mama. She gave when she didn't have it to give. She endured so many hard seasons, and she was a fighter. If ever there was a fighter, I know my mama was a fighter. My mama got up and she fought every blow that life gave her. She came up swinging. She had a lot of health issues, but she didn't allow those health issues to stop her from showing up in her life. And so even if I learned nothing else from my mama, I learned how to persevere. I learned how to continue to take the blows that life hit me and show up in strides. So I'm in a place now in my life where I'm able to help other people. And the purpose of breaking free from invisible bars is to help you realize that even in your broken place, even in a dark place in your life, God can come in and He can minister to you and He can give you strength and He can help you rise above that place and help you walk in your purpose. So, yes, grief, it is a heavy thing to carry. But the beautiful thing about God is, First Peter 5:7 says that we can cast all our cares upon him because he cares for us. So to know that he loves us so much that even that thing that is near and dear to our hearts, he's willing to take it off of our chest and he's willing to handle that thing for us. And I had to learn, really, I had to learn how to get lost in his presence, how to allow his word to wash over me and to heal those broken places so that I can get up and I can still be a productive citizen. I can enjoy my life and not just allow what I had to endure to just cause me to just stop. Now, with my mother-in-law, I promise you, I just sat there and I just stopped for a while, and I had to learn from that thing. I had to understand that that's not the way. You can't process it that way. Just be installed in it. You can't. That's not processing grief. Yes, it's okay. It's okay to cry for a while. It's okay to be realistic about what it is you're going through, to be honest about, hey, I need help. You have to be willing to be real with yourself about what it is that you're experiencing. You got to be willing to be open to receive help. Everybody ain't open to receive help, and the sad thing about it is they stay stalled in it because they're not willing to allow somebody else to come in who's walked through the process of grief, who knows what it's like on the other side, and who can help them see that, hey, you can get to a place where you can honor the memory of the person that you lost. You can get to a place where you can look at them and you can look at the memories and you can smile and they can bring joy to you. It'll be a place that it's a place to get there. But right now you might be heartbroken. Right now you might be in that place of barrenness. It might be, hey, listen, right now I'm struggling, and that's okay. It's okay to admit that right now it's hard for me. It's fresh to me. I'm struggling right now. I need something more right now. And that's okay. To be honest and be realistic about where you are and be willing to say, okay, listen, God, I need you to send somebody in that is concerned enough about me, that will be patient with me, that will be supportive of me, that'll take the time to listen to me, that'll pour into me, that'll encourage my heart, and he will do just that. Even when Martha and Mary were in a place where they were grieving Lazarus, they were heartbroken behind the situation. Even though Jesus knew that he was getting ready to turn their situation around, he stopped in that moment and he wept. He wept because he felt what they felt, because he was supportive and he was empathetic to what they were going through. So even in a moment, don't let nobody take from you the need to grieve. You can cry. If you need to cry, cry. It's Tears are healthy. They wash over our souls. They release those things that are bottled up in us that keep us from being able to get to the next place. So don't hold it in. Let it out. Let it out so that you can feel better, so you can get to the other side of it. So at the end of the day, so that the joy can come, so that the peace can come, so that you can experience the love of God when you get to the other side of it. But if we stay stagnated and we stay stuck in it, then we will not ever reach a place of fruitfulness. We will not ever reach a place of growth and maturity in it. It's a process. It's a process, and everybody processes it differently. Don't let nobody else try to dictate to you how you should handle your grief or what you should do or what you shouldn't do. This is your journey. That's your loved one. That's the person that you value. So whatever is necessary for you, you do whatever is necessary for you. And you allow it to be something that's personal and it's something that you can process on your own and can't nobody else dictate how you do it. So I'm in a place now where I'm choosing. I'm choosing to honor my mama memory. I'm choosing to celebrate her life. I'm choosing to recognize that she existed. And I'm choosing to embrace what she imparted into me so that I can be able to be the woman of God that He's called me to be. So at the end of the day, it's a personal decision. There was a choice when I chose to be depressed at one point in time, and it was a choice that I made when I allowed myself to be overshadowed with anxiety. I chose to accept those things. But now I'm choosing to stand up. I'm choosing to fight back. I'm choosing to celebrate. I'm choosing to change my mindset concerning grief. And you can do it. It can be done even if you have to. Like I said, you got to get with somebody who's a professional and let them teach you techniques to be able to how to handle it. And when those moments and those waves of grief hit you, they can teach you how to process it and how to breathe and how to walk through it. It's steps to it, and it's been effective for other people. You know that there are other people who have experience, who walked a mile in your shoes, and who learn how to get up and to move forward. Getting up and moving forward does not mean, that's not saying that you're ignoring the fact that your loved one existed. It's not saying that you're not valuing who they used to be. It's a matter of you saying, okay, hey, I'm accepting who they were. I'm accepting what they've done in my life. And now I'm in a place where I'm celebrating and I'm choosing to honor their memory. We have to understand that God is patient with us. He loves us enough that He will help us get to that next place. And He, even those things that are near and dear to our hearts, are near and dear to His as well. And He will show us, hey, listen, I'm concerned about what concerns you. I'm patient and I'm understanding. I'm accepting of the fact that you are in need of me to move in this circumstance. The hard place, the broken things, God longs to heal. He longs to restore. And we have to reach a place where we're accepting of His intervention, His divine intervention in our situations, even in grief. If God can move in your financial situation, if God can move in your physical needs, why can't He move in your emotional needs? He can move in this place too. We have to just be willing to embrace. We have to be willing to accept His intervention. When God desires to send people in to minister to us, to encourage our hearts, we have to be willing to sit down and to be taught, sit down to be imparted into, and accept the wisdom and the revelation that somebody else has concerning the matter that you're walking through. There are people who have been assigned by God to help you walk through the grieving process. And you have to, but it's up to you to be in a place where you're willing to allow those people in. I know sometimes we feel like it's safe. So we're better off if we guard our hearts and we put up walls and we don't allow people into that place and we don't allow people to facilitate our growth in that area. But I want to admonish you to be willing to, now you got to discern the spirit, of course. You got to pay attention to the motive of the individual that's coming. But when God sends people in with a genuine heart to want to help you, with a thing that's too hard for you to carry, a heavy weight that you don't know how to deal with, then embrace it, accept it, be willing to say, hey, listen, I know that even if you have to seek out people that you know that have lost their loved one and you see them getting up every day and being productive and doing so much more with their life, maybe you might have to look to them and say, hey, listen, I don't mean to be intrusive and I don't mean to, but I understand. And I know that you have experienced what I'm going through right now. And is there any words of wisdom that you can give me concerning this matter? Is there anything, any kind of tools that you use to help make this thing easier for you? Because I'm struggling right now. Right now, I just don't know how I'm gonna do this, and it's hard for me to just breathe some days. It's hard for me to get up and just show up in my own life, and so I need you to help me. Help me process the weight of this grief. Help me find my way through this season in my life. And I promise you, when you reach out and you look, and God will show you, He'll guide you to that right person that'll be able to walk with you through that season, that'll pour into you, that'll be patient with you, that'll take the time to love on you and show you that, hey, this is temporary. where you are, this place that you're in is a temporary thing. You do not have to stay isolated in this place. You can find victory even in grief. There's victory on the other side of this. There's growth. There's wisdom that's going to be developed in this process. And you know that there's nothing too hard for God. Not even the weight of grief. It's nothing too hard for him. He'll give you just what you need to make it through this season. I promise you, when my sister passed, I had this just people were like, I don't understand how you showing up every day. I don't understand. I said, you know how I am because I'm engulfed in God's presence. I'm spending so much time in His face that hey, I ain't even got time to think about it. I ain't even got time. And eventually, He gave me the strength, and I was able to get to a place where I can honor her memory and I can celebrate her life, and it didn't have to take me out. It gave me courage to be able to stand because I started to begin the fight for the vision that we had laid out, the things that we were planning to do together. I started to get the strength and the courage to get up and finish the work. And God will give you just what you need to come to find a way, to a desire to live beyond the place that you're in, a desire to show up even when it seems like it's an impossible situation. And so even in the way of grief, even in a hard place, even in a barren place, God is still God. He is still God. He is faithful. He is just. And even in that place, He will love on you. He will show up and He will raise up people that is concerned about what you're concerned about, that loves you enough that they'll take the time to pour into you, to pray for you, to encourage you. One thing I love that God did for me is He placed me in a church home that is so sensitive. They were taking care of me. They were loving on me. They were showing up. They were making sure that I ain't have to go through none of the process by myself. Everything that I needed, I had people who were effectively ministering to me and were showing up for me and were nurturing and were understanding and supportive in a season where sometimes I needed to just cry on somebody's shoulders. Sometimes I just needed somebody to just listen to me or just to celebrate some victory in my life with me. And God raised up people that took the time to do all of those things for me so that I can get to the other place and I can be to a place where I can be able to say, hey, listen, I'm stronger now. I can stand on my own now. I thank you for being willing to stop what you were doing, to make sure to look after me, to make sure that I'm good. And now that I'm able to stand on my own, I'm able to not have to call on you so much. I don't have to be you don't have to be so concerned if I'm a break because I'm strong now. I'm able to stand. And so in the end of the day, God will give you. He'll give you what you need, even when you don't think it's something that you need. You know, like I said, He placed people in my midst. Thank you for contributing to my live goal. Thank you for coming into the room. Even when I didn't think I needed it, He raised up people that were supportive and that were just when I didn't even think nobody was paying attention to what was going on with me, they were like, man, I seen y'all videos. I seen what you did together. I remember this. And they would be reminding me of the impact that she had, my mama had, the impact my sister had. And they would remind me, of the legacy that they left behind. And it gave me so much strength to continue to fight. Sometimes you don't ever know how much a kind word will do for a person that's in a place of barrenness or brokenness. You don't understand how much of a difference you can make by just putting a smile on somebody's face. Just sending I remember receiving just a card in the mail or just a dinner for somebody, and people would just understand, hey, listen, right now I know your life is hard right now. I know it's difficult for you to get through this season. So I was thinking about you today. Whether it's a text message or anything, all those things can make a difference to somebody who's grieving, to somebody who is just struggling to breathe from day to day. Those things can make a difference. Don't be so insensitive to the needs of other people, so preoccupied with the fact that you're at peace right now that you forget about those whose hearts are broken, those who are in a place right now where they don't even know, what day it is because they're so lost in what they're experiencing. And it can happen like that. It can happen. The weight of grief can be so heavy and emotionally, and you can be so emotionally drained that you don't even realize what day it is because you're struggling just to even be cognizant, to even be present mentally. And so when you got somebody who's assigned to you, who concerned about what you're concerned about, who love you enough that they'll show up and they'll pour into you and they'll encourage your heart and they'll pray for you. Your prayers make all the difference. When you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can feel the prayers of the righteous protecting you and covering you, it make a big difference in your life. And so I understand that God has raised up people who just know how to work that kind of ministry, who have a benevolent heart, who would just take the time to say, hey, listen, I got such a heart for you. My heart, I'm an intercessor and I'm feeling this and I just promise you when my sister passed, God raised up a lady and that lady would just come and she would just minister to me. She would just show up. Just seemed like when it seemed like on my hardest days, all of a sudden I get a text, I get a call, or she bringing me dinner, or she doing something because she was assigned to help carry me through that season. And I promise you, it was like, man, like, I don't even know what I would do if I didn't have you here. But she was on an assignment. She understood her purpose in that season and she covered me and she poured into me and she made sure she looked after me until I was strong enough to stand on my own. And God will raise up people that'll look after you, that will love on you, that will not shun you because you're processing your grief. They ain't gonna make fun of you, they ain't gonna shun you, they ain't gonna look down on you, but they will be attentive to your needs. I know he will do it because he's done it in my life. And I want to just come on and just encourage those people who may be in that place right now. Maybe you're struggling mentally and you just don't know how I'm going to make it through this thing. I just don't know, man. It just seems like my heart is in so many pieces and I don't know how I'm going to put it back together. I don't know if it will ever function again after this. I promise you it will. God is well able. He's able to restore. He's able to renew. He's able to give you a fresh start, even in this. Even after this, there will be glory after this. But it just takes you being willing to surrender even this place of brokenness to God. Surrender this heartache that you're feeling. Lay it at the Father's feet. Watch how His Spirit will come in and nurture you and minister to you and heal those broken places. It ain't nothing too hard for God, not even grief. I don't care how long you've been carrying it. I don't care how long you've been stuck in that place. I know that God can turn it around and he can get glory in your circumstances and he can minister to you and he can give you strength to stand and he can show you that there is still yet life left to live. There is still yet something else invested in you. God has not brought you this far to leave you. He has not brought you this far to allow you to feel like you're on your own. You're never alone. You ain't in this thing by yourself. He loves you. He concerned about you. He's so concerned about what matters to you that he stopped me and had all my whole day was focused on this because he was concerned about the needs of his people. He loved you guys enough that he's willing to give you encouraging words and send you support from people, even if it's from a total stranger. Most of these people that have been in this room today, I don't have no clue who you are or where you from, but I do know that I'm here on an assignment. I'm here on an assignment because the Lord has concern about those whose hearts are heavy right now, those who are struggling with the weight of grief. He's concerned about you. He's so concerned about you that he said etched out this moment in time so that you can get ministered to, so that you can get what you need to continue to stand, continue to rise up and be who he called you to be. Yes, grief is a part of life. We all are going to go through it. We all are going to go through it. But the beautiful thing is, if you get in God and you allow him, you can grow through it, not just go through it. You can grow out of this process. On the other side of this process, you can be stronger. On the other side of this process, you can be wiser. On the other side of this process, you can really embrace and enjoy life when you come to the place where you understand that there was purpose in the life of the individual that you lost. God used them in some capacity to impact your life. So if he used them in some capacity to impact your life, what make you think he don't desire to use you in some capacity to affect somebody's life as well? He desires to use you to be beneficial for somebody else. So it's important that you be restored, to be renewed, be reminded of, hey, listen, you still got time to walk in purpose. There's still life left in you. And God has kept you here for a reason. There's still some things that you gotta do. And if you are a believer and they were believers, then at the end of the day, that means that on the other side, you'll see them again. That means that, hey, you're striving to get to where they are. But if you're not to a point where you are a believer, then maybe this is your wake up call. Maybe you need to recognize that, hey, I need to get myself together so that I can see them again, so that I don't have to be parted and separated from eternity from them. God has so much in store for his people. He got so much in store for you. And at the end of the day, yes, grief is heavy. It's hard. But at the end of the day, ain't nothing too hard for God. God can give you what you need to get through this. But you have to be willing to surrender to him so that he can give you what you need to get to the other side of it. For you to see what it is that you're supposed to gain out of this loss. I know it don't make much sense. It don't sound real wise to say, how am I gonna gain something out of losing a person that I love? What do you mean gain something? Trust me, there were things that you didn't grasp from that person's presence when they were here, but you'll grab it now that they're gone. You'll be able to go back and you'll begin to look and see what it was that they were teaching you, what it was that they were imparting into you, and you can gain strength and you can gain wisdom from that person's existence. There is things that you can grow from because now you can take the time to really sit down and analyze what it was that God placed in your life for. Take the time, think about it. Think about what they taught you. Think about what their constants in your life meant to you. What did you gain from having that relationship? I gained so much from having a relationship with my mama. My mama laid so many foundations in my life, and she wore out so many paths for me to walk in, so that I could be able to see how to be a good mama and a great wife and all the woman of God and so many things that she laid out for me. She taught me so many things, and I'm grateful for her presence. My sister taught me so many things, and I'm grateful for her presence. I learned even more just from her tenacity and her zeal. But at the end of the day, I understand that there's still yet work left for me to do here on the earth. So I'm going to continue to show up, even when my heart is broken, even when I feel like I can't breathe sometimes, even when I'm struggling mentally, to just keep going. I'm going to keep showing up. Why? Because there is still yet purpose left in me. There's work for me to do here on the earth. So regardless of how I feel, I'm gonna lean, I'm gonna depend on God, and I'm gonna allow Him to give me what I need to get to the other side. So you just have to rest in it. Rest in His presence. Rest in knowing that this thing is gonna pass. The weight of grief will eventually pass. Eventually you'll get to a place where you can breathe like you normal again, where you can have joy. And it's not a bad thing. It's not like you saying, hey, I don't want that person don't exist no more. No, they exist. The fact that they did what they did in your life is going to forever be with you. But you don't have to be stuck in the sad mourning place of their life. You can reach a place where you can be celebratory and you can be grateful for what they've done to impact your life. It can come. It will come. It takes time, but eventually you'll find a new normal, a new pattern that you'll be able to embrace. Eventually you'll find a place and a way of honoring and celebrating who they are to you. It takes time, but it can happen. I'm a living witness. I am a living witness. I'm getting up every day. I'm not overshadowed by grief anymore because I learned how to I learned how to process my grief in a healthy way. I learned how to find ways to gain from their memory, to gain strength, and to gain courage to continue to show up in my life and be who God called me to be. And it's possible. It is so possible. And nobody's rushing your process. I'm understanding and I'm empathetic of the fact that it is a process. It does take time. I just came on to encourage your heart today and let you know that it gets better. It gets better. Eventually, you'll get to a place where you're learning how to live again, how to embrace life, even though they're no longer here. You can find a place where you can celebrate their life, find a way to get strength and courage and be able to be okay even without them. And I'm not saying that you're disregarding the fact that they exist. I'm not saying to do away with it, but I'm just saying you'll be able to learn how to live even though they're not here every day. You'll be able to find ways to give you strength and courage to be able to celebrate the fact that they did exist. We got to get to a point where we can move forward, not disregarding or not ignoring who they are or what they were, but to be able to move forward so that you can still be able to be productive in this life, so you can still be able to show up and be who God called you to be. Because regardless, we still got work left to do. We still got things that are required of us, and it's not going to be okay. It's not going to be acceptable to stand before the Father and say, "I just stopped living. I didn't do nothing else because I lost somebody." No, you have to be able to be to a point where you're able to be realistic and embrace and grow through the loss. Trust me, I get it. God is able to do just what we need him to do. He's able to heal. He's able to mend wounds. He's able to restore. He's able to renew our hope. But we have to get in a place where we're rushing to his presence to do the work. We're allowing him to come in to bring the healing balm, to bring the nurturing experiences that we need to be able to give us what we need to be able to stand, to be able to rise above the weight of grief. I thank you for coming into the room. I thank you for taking the time to listen to what God's placed on my heart concerning this matter. I understand it's not a very likable topic. People tend to try to tiptoe around the subject matter because it is a sensitive subject, and because so many people have been lost in it, and it can be like I said, it's a touchy topic, so a lot of people don't want to talk about it. But I'm here to talk about it because I understand that when we learn how to process our grief healthily, we learn how to talk and how to work our way through a thing, then we can get back to our life. We can get back to living again when we learn how to acknowledge the fact that grief is a real thing. Acknowledge the fact that, hey, yes, there is some things that's hard about it. It's real. That's okay. It's okay to cry sometimes. It's okay to be frustrated at times. It's okay to even be angry. But at the end of the day, you have to reach a place where you can process those feelings so that you can get to a place where those feelings are not overshadowing your every move, and you're getting to a place where you can able to be able to stand up and show up in your own life and live to a place where you got peace again, to a place where you got this experiencing the comfort of the Lord. It can happen, and it takes time, but I know that God is concerned about what's concerning you. I know, and that's a beautiful thing of being able to rely on First Peter 5:7 to be something that you can take solace in. The fact that he loves us and he cares about what matters to you. And he's giving you permission to cast your care on him. That thing that is so near and dear to your heart, that thing that weighs so heavy on you, God has given you permission to give it to him. He's giving you permission to throw it at his feet and say, okay, God, this thing's so heavy. I can't carry this thing by myself. I don't know how I'm going to make it through this day. I don't know how I'm going to show up, but I need you. When we understand that we can't do it on our own, and we learn how to lean and depend on the strength of the Father, then we're able to get what we need to be able to get up and fight, to get up and be who he called us to be. Every day, every day is a gift from God. It's a blessing from the Lord to be able to wake up this morning, to be clothed in your right mind, to have the use and activity of your limbs. That was a blessing from the Lord. It's a gift. Don't allow that gift to slip through your hands because you're allowing something that's beyond your control to overshadow today. It's a gift from the Lord. Take it. Embrace today. Thank God for it. Thank him for being there, for loving you enough to take the time to just even show you that, hey, this thing matters to me. It matters to you. It matters to me. I see your heart. I understand that it's a difficult season right now. I understand that you're broken right now, and it's okay. And that's the way the Lord feels towards you. He understands. He understands where you are, and it's okay. He's acknowledging. He just like he did with Mary and Martha. When Mary and Martha was at that tomb and they was all frustrated and they was like, Jesus, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. And they were all crying and frustrated, and in that moment Jesus stopped. He gave them his undivided attention, and he wept with them. And that's what the Lord desires to do for you. He desires to stop in his tracks right where you are and let you know, hey, I see you. I understand. I know that it's hard. I know that you're hurting. I know that this thing seems like It's impossible for you to get through. But I love you so much. I love you so much that I made time for you today. I made time to let you understand that I'm concerned about what matters to you. I understand that grief can be so heavy to carry sometimes. Sometimes it seems like people too busy. Thank you for coming in, love. Thank you for getting your daily heartbeat. I'm just ministering to those people who may be carrying the weight of grief. Mother's Day is next weekend, and my mama passed away in 2018. And I understand how difficult it can be sometimes to continue to show up in your life. When you know that those people that you love have gone on, they're no longer here, and you got to celebrate their memory instead of their presence. So I understand how hard it can be. And that's what, for me, for a while, thank you so much. I promise you, it never fully goes away. I get it, sis. I promise you I do. I promise you, some days, grief, waves of grief will come through and it can be hard to just show up in life. But I thank God for giving me wisdom and for sending people in that were concerned about me, that would take the time to minister to me, take the time to cover me in prayer, and take the time to listen when everybody else seemed like they were too busy. You know, Sometimes people get tired of hearing your story. They get tired of you keep rehearsing a thing because they don't understand. They never had walked a mile in your shoes and they don't know what it's like some days when you long for a person and you can't get them back. And it's beyond your control. And if it was up to you, you would change your circumstances. But I came on today because I get it. You know, I get what it's like for everybody else to be so excited about celebrating on Mother's Day and how they're just so excited about being able to spend that quality time with their mama. And then you gotta go to a graveyard or you gotta just try to coexist because it's hard. But I came on to encourage people's hearts because I'm not in the bed this year. I'm not going to be in the bed this year because I made a conscious decision to celebrate my mama's life, to celebrate her legacy, to honor the things that she taught me, the things that she took the time to pour into me. I understand that at times it can be overwhelming and it's okay if you feel like you need to cry and it's okay if you feel like the day is just one of them days where I can't today, and it's okay to be realistic and to accept the fact that today's just one of them days I just can't. But at the same time, you can't get stuck in that place. You can't allow the weight of grief to suck the life out of the life you're trying to live right now. You have people who are depending on you to show up. They're depending on you to give them the best version of who you are. And so how do you get to a place where you can give them the best version of who you are when your heart is broken, when you're struggling to breathe, when you're dealing with anxiety and insomnia and all of these things that come sometimes that are associated with grief? My suggestion to you is to find comfort in the Father. My suggestion to you is to seek out wise counsel. It took me being willing to sit and have somebody who was equipped. She was trained, not just from a natural standpoint, but she was trained in the spirit to pour into me. And she was trained to teach me techniques to help me realize that life can be lived beyond this moment. I could live again. And she taught me how to show up for me. She taught me how to love even when our heart was to a point where I wanted to be shut off and I didn't want to love no more because I had been broken, because I had been damaged by life. But now I'm in a place where I embrace my life and I embrace those that are in my life and I'm willing to be sacrificial and to give when at times when I feel like I don't even have nothing to give. I give. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about me being willing and obedient to the Father. And so I'm here, even on a sensitive subject like this, I'm showing up here to effectively minister to God's people because I understand my purpose and I understand the mantle that has been released to me. So when you understand your purpose and you understand the mantle that has been released to you, you'll get up and you'll go beyond your comfort zone. You'll go beyond what your flesh is calling you to do and you'll walk in purpose. So I'm here. I'm here out of love. I'm here out of obedience. I'm here to pour because He's equipped me to do such. I'm here to let you know that, hey, listen, this thing may be heavy. It may be a lot for you, but trust me, you are going to get through this. You're going to make it to the other side. God is going to give you just what you need to help you be able to stand up under the weight of this grief. How do you get to that place? You get to that place by learning to release things to God, learning to let Him know, hey, listen, God, be honest with Him about where you are. Be honest with Him about what you feel. Even if it's anger, even if it's disappointment, even if it's sadness, whatever it is that you feel, you can talk to the Father about what you feel. And I promise you, every answer that you need can be found in His scripture. In the word, He's already given you everything you need pertaining to life and godliness. Everything you need to help you process this season. It's available to you in the word. And trust me, the word is not an archaic book of an old stories. It is alive and it is thriving and it will nurture and it will restore. It will give you just what you need to give you the wisdom and the courage and the strength that you need to show up in your own life. It's all found encompassed within His word and His presence. You know, people that when I used to go to church, we used to sing the song, "What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and grief we bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer." I used to sing that song, and at first, it was like, "Oh my God, they're gonna sing this song again," because I was so used to hearing it. But when I got to a place in my walk with Christ, when I began to grab and understand what that song was saying, then I reached a place where I'm like, "Wow, it is a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer." When He is truly a friend, He will be a friend that sits closer than a brother, and He will help us through all of the seasons of our lives, including the season of grief, including the place of mourning. He will help us through it. But we have to learn how to lean and depend on Him, not our own natural cognitive abilities, our physical strength. We got to learn how to lean on the Father. We got to learn how to draw from Him what we don't have in us so that it can sustain us and it can take us to a place of comfort and strength and stamina and boldness. It'll take us through it, but we have to get to a place where we're willing to actually acknowledge that it exists. Acknowledge that, hey, God, this season is hard for me. It's a difficult place for me and I need you. I need you. I understand that I think I can do things all by myself, but this one thing I can't. I can't do this by myself. I understand, God, that you so patient with me and you loving and all the things that they say you are. But in this season, I need you to be my comforter. I need you to be my guide. I need you to be my strength. I'm so weak, but I need your strength. I need your strength to get through this season. I need your strength to show up for me. Even when this thing seems like it's so insurmountable, it seems like a mountain in my life. The weight of grief seems so big, so much that I don't even know how I'm gonna get through this thing. And I need you to show me. He'll lead you. He'll guide you. He'll give you just what you need. And He'll raise up those people that are patient with you, that are supportive, that are loving, that will say, hey, listen, I see you. I'm here. And they will just minister to you and they will support you. And before you know it, you'll find yourself to a place where you all cried out, where you'll find yourself to a place where your smile is returning again. You'll find yourself in a place where you're celebratory and you're enjoying and you're embracing life. And that's where I'm at in my journey. Yes, I'm moving past the sadness. I'm moving past the anger and the frustration. And I'm reaching a place of celebration. I'm reaching a place of victory in this thing because I understand that their life still had purpose. They still had things that they were releasing to me, even though I didn't quite ever grab everything. But now I can look back. I can look back and I can grab so much from the time of impartation and the time of prayer and the sacrificing and the things that they did. They gave up so that I could have the things that they gave to me. I can embrace it now. And so now I'm able to be the woman of God that I am today because God surrounded me with mighty women of God that knew him, that loved him, that stayed on their face for me, that covered me. My mama was a woman of God. My sister was a woman of God. My grandma was a woman of God. My mother-in-law was a woman of God. All of them gone on to be with the Lord now. But I learned so much from the times that they had me, the time that I had with them. And I've gained so much out of the fact that they were in my life. And now I'm in a place now where I want to be like the women that were in my life before, that love the Lord, that take the time, that love on people and be concerned about what they need and being patient with other people and being supportive and showing love. Those were things that they taught me. They taught me how to take my time and to listen and how to be attentive to not just, some people listen, but they don't even pay attention to what you're saying because they wait for a break so they can get in and have something to say. But I learned not to be that type of person. I learned to really pay attention to the details of what's coming out of somebody else's mouth, what's going on in somebody else's life, so that I can be attentive to the needs of the individual. But these women taught me that. They taught me how to be patient with people, how to be concerned about what matters to somebody else, how to be sacrificial, and how to give even when it was times when I had needs. They taught me how to do that, and so I'm here today. I could be sitting and worrying about my own wounds. I'm not. Because at the end of the day, I'm here concerned about you. I'm concerned about those people who may not be as far as I am in their grieving process. Maybe you have not figured out how to not let the tears overtake you, be your meat day and night. Maybe you have not figured out how to rest at night because you can't, your mind racing because of what you're enduring in this season. Maybe you that type of person who anxiety you just feel with being anxiousness because you had to endure. I promise you, I had to watch my mama take her last breath. I had to help make the decision for my sister when they was when they were working on her and they said it was enough. I had to endure those things. And now I have to live with the decision making process behind the transition. But at the same time, I understand that I gave it all I could. And I know now that, hey, they ain't here no more, but their memory still is. And so at the end of the day, when you know that person left a mark on your life and they served you and they gave and they poured into you and they were selfless. Those things are things that you cherish about who they were. You cherish about what they imparted into you. And you take those things that they poured into you and you utilize those things in a way that you can impact other people's lives and you can bring courage and strength and boldness to somebody else. So I'm here. I'm here to serve. I'm here to support. I'm here to help shed light on gray areas in people's lives. Because people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about the weight of grief. They don't want to talk about different things that we struggle with. But breaking free from invisible bars is here. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through these things that have caused us to be in captivity, that has kept us from fulfilling purpose, that has caused us to be blocked in areas, so that we can be able to go forward in our lives, so that we can grow, so that we can walk in purpose. Yes, it's okay. It's okay to cry sometimes. It's okay to acknowledge it, but you can't get stuck there. You can't allow that thing to become a prison for you. Don't let the weight of grief become a trap. God wants you to love again. He wants you to connect with those other people around you. He wants you to enjoy the life that He has blessed you with. This 24 hours that He gave you is a gift. So what you do with that gift matters. Take it, embrace it, and thank God for it. Thank Him for loving you. Thank Him for keeping you alive and giving you the opportunity to continue to rise again and show up in life. Thank Him for it. And then while you thanking Him for it, thank Him for those people that your heart is longing for. Thank Him for loving you enough that He invested them in your life. He gave them to you. He could have gave them to anybody else, but he loved you enough that he gave them to you. So now that you, thank you, sis. Thank you for coming into the room. He gave them to you. Now, what you got out of their presence in your life, you take what you got from their presence in your life and you use it and you impart it and you share it with somebody else. Because it's somebody else who's going to benefit from what you learned from that person that you lost, that you love. There's somebody else that's going to benefit from the fact that you had them in your life. There are things that I share and I'm able to do because my mama poured those things into me. My mama shared those things with me and she taught me how to be how to serve. She taught me how to be benevolent. She taught me how to love people and how to support and how to be really truly be a prayer warrior. She taught me those things. And because I sat up under her tutelage between my mother-in-law, she taught me how to break down the word. She taught me how to be patient with people. She had to be really patient with me because I was a wreck. I was a rebellious young teenager who wasn't ready to be taught nothing. But because she was loving, she showed me the unconditional love of Christ, and she sat down and she poured into me and she listened to me. Now I'm able to be patient with people while they're enduring their process of growth, while they're enduring the developmental stages. There are things that it's a process we develop in our walk with Christ, and it takes time, and it takes somebody else who's patient, who's supportive, who's listening, and not just listening for an opportunity to speak, but they're listening so that they can see how they can be a blessing to you, how to serve on the other side of the conversation that you're having. So they take the time and they allow what you release out to be ingested in their hearts so that they can be able to come back with an answer, with a response that'll serve you, that'll be beneficial to you. And so that's why I'm in a place where I'm sensitive to what God desires to do through me. And I'm sensitive to what his people need because I understand that there are some people who are struggling with the weight of grief and they need to know that there is somebody out here who's concerned about how heavy that weight is, who's not just concerned about how heavy that weight is, but who's willing to help carry the weight. So we're supposed to bear each other's burdens. We're supposed to be, in order for us, all right, they're giving us puzzle piece, y'all. The chat ain't moving enough. But we're supposed to be supportive and we're supposed to be nurturing and we're supposed to be concerned about what's going on with somebody else. It shouldn't always be just about you. And so I'm here. I'm here to serve. I'm here to be supportive and encourage those people who have been in the place that I once was. They're struggling with grief right now. You're trying to figure out what do I do with these misplaced feelings? Where do I take them now? Because I don't have my loved one to lavish with my love anymore. I don't have them to pour in and to be receptive of what it is that I desire to pour out. It's okay because at the end of the day, even though blessings to you as well, even though your loved one is not here, there are still people who out here who could benefit from the love that you have to share. They can benefit from the encouragement and the support that you desire to offer to that person that you once loved. There's ways to honor the legacy and the memory of who once was in your life to be able to encourage and support. And so I'm in a place right now where I'm saying, okay, God, yes, my mama is no longer here. I don't have her to celebrate next week, but I do have other people that I can honor and I can let them know, I can give them their flowers while they're here and they can still smell them and they can still be grateful for the fact that next week I'm bringing my spiritual mama on next week. She's going to come on and she's going to impart into people because she understands just like I understand the weight of grief. She understands how it is to be struggling on Mother's Day weekend and everybody else got their moment to celebrate and you just trying to keep from being in the bed with a cover over your head and just don't even want to exist today because it's Mother's Day. We understand and ain't nobody making light of the fact that you're in that place because I promise you I've been there. I promise you talking about my mama. If I remember I worked at a doctor's office one time and I used to talk about my mama all the time and a patient came in one day and he said, how's mama? He didn't know my mama had passed away. I literally freaked out because I'm like, my mama gone, and that one, it was just like, it was such a shock to my system when he asked me how my mama was because he hadn't seen me in months. and he didn't know that my mama had passed away. It caused me just to go in a tailspin just to mention my mama. So I know, you know what I'm saying? I know how difficult it can be, but I also know that on the other side of it, you can find joy. You can find a way to celebrate and honor their memory. God had to send me in a minister that was patient enough, that was understanding and would help me walk through the grieving process so that I can get to a place where I can sleep again. I can get to a place where when somebody mentioned my mama name, it didn't cause me to everything in me to stand up and me be shocked and all of that. I could talk about my mama now. I can celebrate my mama's memory. I can honor the legacy that she left behind because somebody taught me how to grieve healthy, how to process how I was feeling. Somebody came in and was concerned about what was concerning me. And God love is so good. You're right about this. His love is so good. He loves us enough that even those things that are near and dear to our heart, one of the most comforting scriptures I have to stand upon is First Peter 5:7. He says we can cast all our cares on him because he cares for us. It's the beauty of knowing that that thing that's near and dear to your heart, that thing that matters so much to you, God gives you permission to give it to him. He's given us permission to release the weight of grief. We do not have to carry it by ourselves. He understands. He's not a distant God that doesn't feel what we're feeling. Right. He feels what we're feeling. He understands. He showed even when Jesus was with Mary and Martha, Jesus took his time. And even though he knew he was getting ready to resurrect Lazarus, he took the moment and he wept. That's a 2 word verse. Jesus wept. A lot of people don't understand how much of a difference that verse, just knowing that Jesus wept with Mary and Martha. He listened. He didn't just hear what they were saying. They were explaining to him how heartbroken they were because in a moment when they needed him, it was like, Lord, if you had a been here, my brother wouldn't have passed. If you had a been here, my brother wouldn't have passed. But Jesus was on his way to them. But in the midst of it, he got somebody else had a more pressing need and interfered before he got to him. So when he got there, Lazarus had already passed. It had been 4 days since Lazarus had been gone. And so they were heartbroken. They had mourned for 4 days. And here Jesus is. He's showing up in their situation and they're crying and they're saying, Lord, if you had been here, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have passed. And Jesus stopped in that moment. And he didn't discredit how they felt. He wept with them because he was concerned about what was concerning them. Even though he knew he was about to resurrect Lazarus and their situation was getting ready to change. He didn't pass up that moment to be supportive and to encourage their hearts and give them what they needed in that moment. In that moment, he wept with them. And I love how God loves us enough that he'll even weep with us in a moment, even though he knows that he's going to fix the situation. Even though he knows he's going to bring us comfort, he's going to bring us strength, he's going to bring us out of it. But in that moment, he will give us just what we need. He will allow us to weep. He'll allow us to experience how we feel it in that moment. So he will allow you that space to lament. There's a whole chapter in the book. Lamentations, a whole chapter about the Lord mourning over the condition of his people. So he understands mourning, but he also promised in Isaiah to give us joy for mourning. He's going to eventually move the mourning and replace it with joy. Our sadness eventually will lift, but we have to get to a place where we have to trust God, even with the pain and the weight of grief. You have to trust him and have to be realistic and be honest with God about where you are and say, listen, Father, right now, this season is hard for me and I need you. I can't do this in my own strength. I can't make it through this season alone. I need you to comfort me. I need you to guide me. I need you to raise up people that are compassionate and supportive and patient enough with me, that are understanding and will take the time to minister to the needs that I have. I need you to love me. Show me your love. His love is unconditional. It ain't something that we have to earn. It ain't something that we can forfeit. His love covers a multitude of faults. And even in those broken places, even when we're going through our phases of anger and denial and everything that's associated with grief, we can walk through those processes and we can do it in a healthy manner, and we can do it in a place where we're allowing the Spirit of the Lord to guide us through it. God will give you everything you need pertaining to life and godliness, and that is including giving you the strength and the stamina to make it through grief. He'll give you everything that you need. You have to be in a place where you're willing to receive. You have to be in a place where you're being willing to be honest with the Lord about where you are and about what you need. He will give you everything you need. He's concerned about what concerns you. The fact that your heart is heavy right now matters to the Lord. The fact that you need Him to dry your tears, it matters to Him. He's not rushing your process. And he's not overlooking the fact that you're in the place that you're in. He's understanding and he's compassionate and he's supportive of the place that you're in. And you don't have to go through it by yourself. He has not abandoned you in this place. You have to learn how to embrace Him, and how to gain strength from being in His presence, by how to study His Word and how to draw from Him what you need. You can get everything that you need from the Lord, even in this season, if you're willing to look to Him. He is the author. He is the finisher of your faith. He has a plan, and He's in complete control. And when you get to a place where you're looking to the Father to provide the answers, you're looking to the Father to move on your behalf, He will show up. He will show up and He will guide you. He will comfort you. He will reassure you, and He'll give you just what you need to walk through this season. I'm a living witness, and I know He will do it. He is no respecter of person. If God can give me what I need to be able to rest, to be able to rise up, and to be able to take my life back, He can do it for you. He's no respecter of person. At the end of the day, we have to look to Him. We have to look to Him. We got to trust God, even with our broken heart. We have to trust Him with it. We have to be willing to allow God to put us back on the potter's wheel and make us again. Life will damage us. Things will happen that'll come in and knock the wind out of us, but He'll give us a second wind. He'll allow us to mount up on wings like an eagle. He'll give us what we need to rise and to soar above this place. But it has to be something. Thank you for the follow. It has to be something that we're willing to allow Him to do. He's a gentleman. He's not going to force Himself on us. He loves us, and He'll extend every opportunity for us to be divinely connected to Him. He'll extend every opportunity for us to find comfort and strength in the circumstances that we're in. And when we understand that God loves us that much and that He's willing and He's able to restore and to renew our hope and give us what we need to get through a season, when we understand that, then we'll take on the challenges of life different. We'll take our approach to life will be different when we understand it. When we come to a place where we recognize that He loves us. He loves us even in a place where we won't feel like we're lovable. He loves us. He loves us so much that what the things that seem like that we can't make it through, He'll just make ways of escape through. He made ways for me to escape the grief. He made ways for me to be able to come back and get control of my life again and be on the right track and be able to be embracing the life that was left for me to live. He made ways for me to do it. And I had to get to a place where I had to surrender my all to the Father so that I could be able to not try to handle those circumstances my own way. I promise you, when I was trying to handle grief on my own, I was struggling and I was drowning in that thing because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to handle it. But then God had to raise up people that had walked a mile in my shoes, who could understand and who could help me find ways to navigate my way through the process, who could take the time and listen and take the time, even when it seemed like I kept repeating myself and it felt like, like I'm stuck in a place, and they didn't look frown upon me for me repeating how it made me feel, or for me to feel like I'm stuck there. They stayed right there with me, and they kept reassuring me, and they kept reminding me that, hey, this too shall pass. There will be joy after this. On the other side of it, joy is coming. On the other side of it, wisdom's coming. On the other side of it, growth is coming. On the other side of it, there will be things that God is going to reveal to you about you. He's going to reveal things about the person that you love. He will reveal things about the process that you went through, and he'll allow you to see his grace, his mercy that was extended towards you, extended towards them. He'll allow you to see that even in the hard places, he still was there. He was there to cover us. He was there to carry us through that season. Even in the hard places, he showed us love when we didn't even feel like we were lovable. He showed us love. And so even in this hard thing that we're going through, God is lovable. He's showing us love. He's patient with us. He's supportive, and he's willing to encourage our hearts. So I just came on to just minister. And I hope there's something that was said today has brought peace and solace to you. I hope that something that was said today is giving you a little bit more strength to keep fighting, to keep showing up, and to realize that, hey, this place that you're at is a temporary thing. It's not going to be like this always. I promise you that. Oh, people say, trouble don't last always. It don't last always. It's a season. It's a season, and it's going to pass, and you're going to find yourself on the other side of it. I promise you that. On the other side of it, joy will come. On the other side of it, victory will come. God has a plan. He has a plan, and his plan is of good and not of evil. He desires to bring you to an expected end. So even in the midst of all of this, even though you don't understand why he's taking you this route, and you don't understand why you had to lose them and why they had to leave and all that stuff, you don't understand everything. And some things we won't understand on this side of heaven. Some things we will not understand. But God will give us strength to accept it. Sometimes we don't understand, and that's okay if you don't understand. It's okay. Just understand that God will give you strength, and He'll give you the ability to accept that thing that you couldn't understand, that thing that seemed like it's just too much. He'll give you everything you need to be able to get through this season, to get to the other side of it, and He'll give you peace that surpasses all of your understanding. Gonna go beyond what your natural understanding is. When His peace come in, your flesh ain't gonna be able to comprehend it. You know, be able to understand how am I able to be at peace right now? How am I able to stand in this season? How am I able to continue to show up in life? You ain't gonna understand everything that God will give you strength to do, and all you're gonna be able to do is point it back to the Lord. It's because of Him. It's only because of Him. Because I couldn't do it in me. I couldn't. In my flesh, I wouldn't be able to be on here right now and talk to you guys about the weight of grief and the loss of my mama. In my flesh, no, I couldn't do it. But in God, I can do all things. All things. He's giving me strength right now to minister to those people who have been in the same place that I'm in, who's struggling right now, who's trying to figure out where to place this grief and what to do with it, and how to get up and how to keep breathing and how to keep showing up in your own life. All those things I get. Trust me, I do. But I know that in Christ you can do all things. And that's including grieve healthily. In Christ you can do it. You can make it through this thing. He'll show you. He'll reassure you. He'll show up for you even in this place. Even in this hard place, God will show up. I know He will. He's no respecter of person. He did it for me. He kept me. He kept my mind. He helped me to be able to continue to fight for my life. And He'll give you just what you need to continue to fight for your life. And you'll find a place of celebration, or find a place of joy behind the memories that they left you with. Can't nobody take that from you. Can't nobody take from you the joy that they once shared with you. They can't nobody take from you the things that they imparted in you, the things that they shared with you. None of it. And so you just embrace it. Embrace the lessons that was taught. Embrace the love that was shared. Embrace the memories that you once shied away from because it was too hard to look at. I promise you, you're going to come a place where you're going to look again and you're going to be able to laugh and you're going to be able to celebrate and you're going to be able to have so much fun because God is going to bring you peace. He'll comfort you. He'll strengthen you, and He'll allow you to get to the other side of it. I promise you He will. His timing is perfect, and nobody rushing your process, and ain't nobody telling you got to be tomorrow. But at the end of the day, I'm just telling you it will happen. I know it. I know it. I know Him to be true. I know He can, and I know He will. do all things but fail us. So this episode of Breaking Free from Invisible Bars podcast has been dedicated to the love and memory of my mama, Dorothy Annette Cersei Singletary Cersei. Her name was hyphenated. Her maiden name was Singletary. Dorothy Annette Singletary Cersei. I had a loving mama who sacrificed, who gave much. She transitioned to be with the Lord in 2018, but her memory still lives on, and I'm so grateful for the time that I shared with her. I'm grateful for every sacrifice she made for me, and I know that there'll come a time where you'll be able to be in a place where you can name that person's name, and you can celebrate their life, and you can honor their memory, and it won't be overshadowed by tears. It won't be overshadowed by anxiety or fear and none of those things, but it'll be filled with joy and excitement because you'll be able to embrace the fact that they existed, the fact that they poured into you and they gave sacrificially and they were there and they didn't have to be, but they did. My mama didn't have to raise her children, but she chose to. And I thank God that she chose to. That she chose to lay down her very life for us every time she had opportunity. She was sacrificial. She gave it her all, and I won't take nothing for the fact that I had a good mama. So at the end of the day, don't take nothing for the fact that those people who you lost were valuable in your life. Don't take nothing for their value. Don't ignore the fact that they exist. Honor their memory. Celebrate their life. Be willing to embrace them. Embrace the memories. Embrace what they left you. Because at the end of the day, they were a gift from the Lord. They were a gift from the Lord. And that was whatever time he loaned them to you, he loaned them to you for as long as he loaned them to you. And it's okay. And it's a reason to say, I thank you. I thank you for my gift. I thank you that you love me enough that you entrusted them to my life for the time that you entrusted them to. I'm up and I'm rejoicing right now over the fact that I had a mama that loved me, that gave her life for me, that was willing to do anything she could for me. I'm rejoicing. Thank you for coming into the live. Thank you for your support. We have to be willing to embrace and celebrate, the legacies that they left behind. Celebrate their memory. Thank God for the victories that they fought and won. They may not have won them all because eventually they gave up their life, but there was victories that they won. There was things, and I seen my mama come back from being on the ventilator so many times. God gave her, he extended her life. He extended her life for many years, even though they gave up on her so many times. But she kept fighting and she fought. I was in 5th grade the first time my mama had a massive heart attack. She laid on a ventilator for 31 days. She got off that ventilator and she came home and she made sure that her children's needs were met. It was hard. It was hard watching my mama have to fight the battles that she fought. But one thing I can say is I love that she loved us and she gave it her all. And she continued to show up and fight a good fight of faith so that her children would see the relationship with her and her relationship with Christ. And they would see how she was willing to give of herself so that we could have everything that we needed. Even though she fought her health battles, she still, whether it was 2 jobs or whatever she had to do, she was sacrificial to make sure our needs was met. And she made sure that when she left here, she left things so that we wouldn't have to want. We wouldn't have to have things that we were lacking. She made sure that we would always have a roof over our head. And she secured a home for us. It was so many things that she fought for us to have. And I'm grateful that she fought for those things. I'm grateful that she showed up for us and she gave sacrificially to us. And so hello sis, thank you for coming into the room. This episode of Breaking Free from Invisible Bars is dedicated to my mama's memory, but it's all here to help those people who are struggling with grief. I'm talking about the weight of grief and how you process it, how to get to the other side of it. I'm being supportive and being understanding of the fact that some people may still be in the infancy state of grief and they may still be to a point where they're not even ready to talk about the fact that this thing is so heavy. It's hard to breathe sometimes. It's hard to get out of bed. I know how it feels. I know. I promise you, when my mama first passed in 2018, the weight of grief was so heavy for me. I struggled just to have normal day-to-day conversations because I was hurting so bad from losing my mama. But now I'm to a place where I'm mature enough in my grieving process that I could talk about my mama in a way, a celebratory way, and I can talk about her in a way that I can honor her memory because I'm in a good place now. My sister, like I said, this podcast was birthed out of our vision that we wrote together. My sister passed in 2022, and I'm still continuing the legacy and the work that they started because I know that they took the time to impart into me and give me what I need to be able to get to this place. And God is calling me to be a vessel that He can use to serve His people. And I'm serving people who are grieving today. I'm here this morning to this afternoon. I'm here this afternoon to just encourage hearts. Cause I know that everybody ain't celebrating Mother's Day weekend. Everybody, some people just like I was and just hoping that this day will hurry up and pass. Hoping that if people can stop talking about it. Cause it's so hard for them. And so I'm here just to nurture and to pour into those people who may still be in a vulnerable state. Maybe you're still at the beginning of the process and it's hard for you. It's hard for you to even be realistic about the fact that you have a hole in your heart. You're missing that loved one and you're wishing that you could just have another day to just sit down and have a meal with them, sit down and have a conversation or just get a phone call or just whatever the case may be. I understand. I get it. But I also know that on the other side of this, on the other side of this place, there's joy gonna come. God will give you strength. He will give you what you need to be able to be productive and embrace the life that He's calling you to live. There's still purpose left in you. And on the other side of this thing, there's going to be so much victory. So much victory when you get to the other side of this weight of grief. So I know that it can happen. I know He ain't no respecter person. If He can give me peace, and it's going beyond my own understanding. He can give me strength and He can give me a confidence to be willing to be in a place right now where I'm able to share from my heart and be bold about the fact that, hey, I had to fight my way back from this weight of grief. I had to fight to get to a place where I could talk about my mama in a way, in a celebratory manner and not hear my mama's name and be sitting down a tailspin of crying and heartbreak all over again. I thank God that this time you can get to that place. You can get to that place where you can have joy and you can have peace and you can be able to speak about your loved one in a way. And even after the hurt, after the agony of the loss, you can get to the other side of joy and peace and you can get to a place of victory, even in grief. So I'm shedding light on the gray area. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about things like this. They shy away from these type of conversations because it's easier to ignore than to be realistic about where you are and what you're going through. But I want to admonish you to take the time. You may not be able to talk to everybody, but there is somebody who's been raised up, who's been equipped to help you. And God will raise up that somebody who is going to be patient and who's going to be understanding and who's going to be take the time to nurture you in this barren season, in this broken place. There are people who really love, who genuinely are anointed by God to help you walk through the season. So I admonish you to pray and ask God to show you who you can talk to, who you can be vulnerable with, who can really listen and not just listen for an opportunity to speak, but listen and be supportive and be patient with you so that they can help you get to a place where you can be made whole in this matter, where you can be set free from the weight of grief. I promise you, it can be done. I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen God raise up people who needed somebody to hold up their arms through the process. They needed somebody to take the time to support and to encourage and to pour into them. And I know that it can be done. And there are people who are properly trained and who have the anointing on their life to help you and get through this season. So just ask God to lead you, ask Him to raise that person up and to shine the light on that person so that you can get what you need to be able to make it to the other side of this season. Trust me, it's a temporary place. You do not have to stay there. You do not have to get lost in that place. You can make it through the other side. I know it to be true because I'm a living witness that I'm in a place now where I'm confident and I'm strong and I'm able to share from my heart what God brought me through so that I can help other people realize that, hey, you don't have to stay there. You do not have to stay there. It's okay. Ain't nobody rushing your process. Ain't nobody telling you you can't, but you don't have to. This is your loved one. That's how they meant to you. Thank you for the follow love. They meant what they meant to you, and their presence was valuable to you, and nobody's taken away from the fact that they had that impact on your life, and they had the ability to impact you and love you the way that they did. Nobody's taking anything. Good afternoon. Nobody's taking that away from you at all. I'm here to encourage your heart and letting you know that, hey, there can be life after grief. You can live beyond this place, and there's still yet people here that are alive and well that need you. They need you to show up. They need you. Hey, Coach Darrell, they need you to show up. They need you to fight. They need you to fight past the weight of this grief. They need you to realize that, hey, um, peace and blessings to you as well. They need you to acknowledge the fact that, hey, this thing's too heavy for me to carry. They need you to say, okay, God, I'm going to surrender to you even in this place. I'm going to surrender this heartbreak to you. Thank you for getting your daily heart me. Thank you for liking the live and contributing to my live goal. I'm talking about today, the Breaking Free from Invisible Bars podcast today is all about grief. I lost my mama in 2018, and for a while, losing my mama took the breath out of my lungs, if I want to say it. I was so down and so hurt, going through depression and all of those things, and I was struggling to show up in my own life. And so I had to find a way to honor my mama's memory and find a way so that I can be able to show up in my own life so I could continue to live, because I had a husband, I had a son, I had other family members that needed me to be present in my life. And so I had to find ways to get past the weight of grief so that I can continue to be a productive citizen, to be who God called me to be. And so at first, when my mama first passed, I threw myself into my weight loss journey and I started working out. Then I started finding ways of going back to school. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I found ways. I started going back to school, and cause me and my mama had made a promise to my mama before she passed, and I told her I would finish my school. And so I went back to school and I got my associate's degree in science, and I found ways to just honor her. Thank you for your support. I found ways to honor her memory. And then I had to actually literally sit down and get counseling. And it's okay. It's okay to acknowledge that you're not okay. It's okay to get you some support from somebody who understands, who's willing to be supportive and willing to pour into you and to cover you. And so I got a Christian counselor who I brought on the show a couple of weeks ago. Coach Trish is her name here on TikTok. But I brought her in because in a season when they're dark TikTok. But I brought her in because in a season when a dark place in my life, when I needed somebody to cover me in prayer, she took the time and she prayed for me and she listened and she helped me get through the place of the struggles, the mind battles and the things that I was going through to get to a place where I can stand. I can stand strong and I can walk in purpose. So I promise you that there are people who are anointed, who have the patience and have the wisdom that you need to help you get through a season. You have to be willing to seek out the help and seek out the support so that you won't get lost in that thing and you won't keep staying stagnated in grief. Yes, we are supposed to mourn. That's a part of the process. You have to go through a season of grief. It's necessary for you to be healthy. You got to acknowledge it, but you can't get lost in it. You can't get stuck in the parts of the grief. I got stuck in the depression part of grief for a long time with my mother-in-law, and I realized that I lost a lot of years. I lost a lot because I allowed depression to overshadow me instead of for me to be in a place where I can be willing to say, hey, God, this thing too heavy for me to carry. I'm hurting right now. I need you to understand that I need you in this season and I can't make it through this thing without you. So we have to get to a place where we're honest with God. We have to get to a place where we're transparent about where we are and what we're feeling. And God will give us just what we need if we ask Him. If we come to the Father, and that's the beauty of 1 Peter 5:7. That verse is what I've been talking about most of this live. 1 Peter 5:7 is a beautiful passage. And when we understand that we can cast our cares on the Lord because He cares for us, because he's concerned about what matters to us, and we can take the time and give him the thing that's too heavy for us to carry, and we can ask him to give us wisdom and give us strategies and give us insight on how to get up from that place, and he will give us just what we need. I love the fact that I got a compassionate God who's supportive and who's understanding and who promised to never leave me. Even in my hard place, he never left me. Even when I felt like I didn't know how I was going to make it, he never left me. He raised up people that were concerned about me, that took the time to pour into me and to encourage my heart. And so I'm so grateful that I had people that cared enough about me that they took the time to listen. They took the time to support me and to show up. Not support is not just saying that I'm here. Support is really literally getting up and showing up, being there for a person. That's real support. When they can look up and they can see you there, when they can hear the phone ringing and they can know that you're feeling what they're feeling and you're concerned about what's mattering to them. That's genuine support. Not just telling somebody, oh, I'm praying for you and never actually pray. That ain't support. Oh, well, I'm gonna be there, and then when they looking for you, you never show up. That's not real support. But genuine support is, hey, listen, I know this thing is a hard season for you, so hey, I'm gonna make sure that I can help keep your head in the game, keep you showing up in your own life, keep you encouraged. So I'm gonna take the time and I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna take the time and I'm gonna pick up the phone and call you because I ain't seen you in a few days. You ain't came out your house. No, that ain't good. You're gonna have to get up from there. You're gonna have to keep moving. And you keep reminding people that they gotta live. Reminding people that breathing is necessary. It's necessary for you to get up and put your clothes on. It's necessary for you to clean up your house and do what you gotta do. Yes, it's hard, but it's necessary. And so when you're really supporting somebody in a grieving process, you help. Even in the moment, if they ain't got the strength, they don't have the ability to clean up. You get up and you come. I'm here, sis. I'm here to get your house together because I know right now mentally you don't got it. Let me help prepare a meal for your family because I know right now it's so hard for you. Just preparing a meal might be too hard for you. So let me order, even if I DoorDash it or whatever the case may be. I'm here because I'm supporting you. I'm letting you know that what matters to you matters to me. Trust me. When that person gets to the other side of that grief, they're gonna remember your acts of love. They're gonna remember your compassion. They're gonna remember your support when they felt like they needed to lean on your arms. They're gonna remember you holding up their arm when they felt like they was caving under the weight of grief. So recognize that, hey, maybe you're not the one who's grieving, but maybe there's somebody else that's in your life right now that you're seeing them go through show these signs and showing that they're in a low place right now and showing that they're crying all the time. Maybe it's somebody else that God has sent you in this life to get information, so teach you how to really support them. Because you can't support somebody if you're not physically there. You can't support somebody if when they call you, you choose not to answer the phone. That's not genuine support. You can't support somebody if you don't take the time to really cover them in prayer. We're supposed to help bear each other burdens. We're supposed to be empathetic, even though next week you're gonna have your moment to celebrate. You should take the time and cover somebody else in prayer who don't have their moment next week, who's not gonna be able to have that time to have a meal, who's not gonna be able to have that time to celebrate with it because their mama is no longer here. So even if you are the type of person that, hey, my mama's still here, so I don't feel what you feeling. You know what it's like. Maybe your daddy gone. You know what it was like when you lost your daddy. So take the same kind of sympathy that you wanted when your daddy was left for them, and when it come down to their mama, you understand that everybody at some point in life is going to experience grief. I'm talking about grief right now concerning mothers because at the end of the day, my mama is gone and I know next week is Mother's Day. And I know that for a minute, it was hard for me to just show up on Mother's Day. For a minute, I wanted to silence my phone. I ain't want no social media notification because I know people were going to post pictures of their mama. I know they were going to post all this stuff about their mama and I ain't have mine. So I went through a phase of anger. I went through a phase of depression. I went through so many different things associated with my feelings of my void in my heart for my mama. But then now I'm in a place now where I'm mature in my walk and I'm in a place where I can celebrate and I can come on and I can speak to you guys about my mama because I'm moved past that place. Am I saying to you that I don't have? No, because even at the beginning, even early in this live, I had a few tears that I shed. So I ain't gonna tell you that I ain't gonna tell you that I'm just ironclad concerning it, but I'm stronger than I once was. I'm closer to God concerning this matter than I once was. And so I'm letting you know that, hey, the weight of grief, eventually it'll get easier to bear. Will it ever completely go away? I can't say that. I don't know, but I do know that it'll get easier. I do know that God will give you strength to continue to show up in your life. I know that He'll release wisdom to you concerning the loss of your loved one. I know that He will raise up people that'll be sensitive to what you need, and they'll pour into you and they'll encourage you, and you'll find your way to find ways to honor their legacy, find ways to still embrace the memories that they left behind. It'll come. But right now you just in a phase of hard place right now. And that's okay. It's okay for you to not be okay. It's okay for you to be honest with somebody and saying, hey, listen, right now I appreciate your sentiment, but I can't talk about them right now. It's just too hard for me. Be honest and be realistic with people about where you are. People will continue to seem like they're insensitive if they don't know how you feel. Because everybody processes grief differently. So there were times, where I might have seemed like I was insensitive to my siblings. Because for me, I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about my sister. I wanted to talk about my mom all the time. But my siblings weren't there because the minute we talked about it, it sent them in a spiral and they cried in it. So I had to learn how to be sensitive to what they need. Because even though I had gotten help and I had moved beyond that place, they hadn't. And so I have to understand that, just like I said, I shared a disclaimer on my Facebook page when I was doing this live. I told my sibling, I said, listen, this might not be an episode that you want to sit through because I understand because I'm finna talk about mama. Let me give you the heads up so that it don't flip you because I don't want to set you in the downward spiral because you're not there yet. I'm in a place where I'm in my walk where I can handle talk about my mama, but some of them they ain't. So I get it. So I have to put a disclaimer out there to protect them. Why? Because I don't want to be insensitive to what they need, but I also don't want to be disobedient to what God is calling me to do. And I know that He's called me in this hour to minister to those people who are struggling with grief. And it's my assignment today to take the time to share this broadcast to be able to pour into those people who need it, who need somebody who's going to be sensitive to what they need, who's going to be supportive, and who's going to encourage them and let them know that, hey, this too shall pass. Even grief, even the weight of grief, it passes. Eventually, you'll be find a place where you can be able to stand erect, even in this place. You can be able to honor the legacy and the memory that the people left behind. But it takes time. It takes you being willing to be honest about where you are and being able to be forthcoming to God and saying, hey, God, this part of my heart is still damaged and I need you to heal. I need you to mend this place so that I can be able to be sensitive and I can feel again, so that I can allow people in to the capacity that I allowed my mama in, so that I allowed my grandma in, I allowed my sister in, my cousin. I'm talking about my mama, but you can talk about whoever it is. Cause like I said, it ain't no partiality in grief. Everybody gonna have grief. Everybody gonna experience it at some point or some phase or another, and everybody processes it differently. So don't let nobody else try to put you in a box when it come down to how you process the longing that you have for the person that you love. You do it your way. You be okay, and it's okay for you to do it your way, and you do whatever is necessary for you to get through it. You be respectful for other people, but you do whatever is necessary for you to get through it. I had to be to a point. My loved ones, every time they want to celebrate somebody's death date, I had to speak up for myself. Say, listen, I don't want to celebrate. I don't want to remember the day that they left. I want to remember all those days in between. See, it's a lot that happens in that dash, right? Between the day that they was alive and the day that they were unalive. There's a lot that happens in between there. And I don't want to be cemented in the fact that they're no longer here. I want to embrace all the other stuff in between. So don't come to me and if we want to celebrate, let's celebrate the day that they entered the world. Celebrate the day that they came in and brought life into God, brought them into life so that they could exist, so that they could be a part into me. But when they transition, I don't want to remember the heartache and the pain that was associated with that day. Everybody got their own anniversaries and things that they celebrate. You do it your way. Don't let nobody impose on you something that matters to them that may not necessarily serve you. You have to protect your own heart, and you got to be willing to stand up and say, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna have to respectfully decline this invitation. I don't mean that I don't love them. It don't mean that they don't matter to me. It just means that for me, this is more harmful than beneficial, and I can't choose to participate in it. And it's okay. It's okay for you to say, you stand up for yourself and say, hey, listen, right now I'm not in a place where I'm healthy and I can't talk about it. Unfortunately for me, it sent me in a downward spiral. I want to, and I'm praying that if the day will come that I can speak about Sally or Jimmy or whoever the case may be. But right now, for me to protect my peace, for me to continue to be able to be healthy, I can't choose to have that conversation. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. But at the same time, I realize that I cannot. I can't let you send me in a downward spiral because I'm just not getting my strength to get up. Maybe, and I pray that a day will come that I could talk about Sally or Jimmy or John, and I could talk about this, and I pray that the day will come that I'm strong enough to have these events or to do whatever you do, whatever is necessary to protect your peace. You allow God and you ask God to come in and do what He need to do to fix those places in your heart so that you're able to be made whole again, because He's able to do it. He will do it. But you have to be honest with God about where you are. Be forthcoming with Him about what you need. You ask the Father, and I promise you, He said, we have not because we ask not. When you ask Him to restore. Ask Him to renew your mind. Ask Him to bring healing in that place. And watch what He does. I had to pray and I had to ask God. I'm like, God, I need you. Because at this point, if I keep going like this, nobody ain't gonna want to be bothered with me. If I keep responding out of anger because I'm frustrated because they gone, nobody ain't gonna want to be bothered with me. If I keep not being able to sleep at night because it's staying keeping me up, then I won't be able to function, God. I need you. Be honest with Him. Be honest with Him about where you are. Be honest with Him about what you need from Him. And watch how He brings answers. You ask Him and He'll give it to you. He'll raise up people that are sensitive to you, that are concerned about you. And next thing you know, you'll find yourself in a place that you're healthy again. You'll find yourself in a place that you can walk through the thing that you once crumbled up under. You can carry the weight of the grief and you'll be able to find joy again. But it's a process. It takes time, and can't nobody tell you that it's been too long. When people look at, man, your mama passed in 2018 and you in here 2025 still struggling with it. You should be over that by now. How dare you? How dare you tell somebody that they should be over something? You don't know what psychological damage that thing did to them. You don't know how long it's gonna take them. And I had to learn, and this is me being transparent. I had to learn the hard way because I was very insensitive to my mama. My mama lost her mama, and I was like, I'm not going over there today. Because I know if I go over there today, my mama going to be sitting there crying. She going to be in her feelings. I ain't got time for that today. Man, grandma been gone. She should be. And till I walked the mile in her shoes, till I understood what she had, what she was going without, and till I understood how much of you don't miss a person, you don't realize how much of a person does for you. You don't realize the impact that they have on your life till they no longer there. Then I was like, oh my God. I don't repented so many times for my attitude towards my mama about my grandmama, because now I get it. And because now I understand that you tripping over it because it's a hole that can't nobody feel but God. Couldn't nobody feel the void in my heart for when my mama left but God. My husband loved me and he tried his hardest to be there. But he couldn't because he didn't get it. I mean, he lost his mama, but he ain't an emotional person. He a rational person. So he processed, yes, he cried at times for his mama, but he didn't cry like I cried because I was trapped in my emotions. So I was stuck in that place. I didn't understand how to move past that place because I allowed my emotions to dictate my moves. And so I was so my feeling was so wrong when my mama passed that I couldn't be in a place where I could have healthy relationship with other people because everything stemmed from the void that I had in my heart from my mama. And so for a while I was isolated. For a while I had to really just get in TV land, fantasy world, and disconnect from real life because I didn't know how to handle the people that were around me. And literally, like I said that story earlier, I was talking about how the patient just said, "How's mama?" And it sent me in this downward spiral, and I'm just freaking out because he asked me how my mama was doing, and he didn't know my mama had passed. But God had to, my husband had to say to me, "Listen, you need some help. I can't help you. You need some help. I love you, and I don't like to see you like this." And God raised up a counselor that was faith based, that had the patience, and I had the privacy of going to her home and sitting there and crying and getting what I needed. She covered me in prayer. She poured into me the word. She took the time to allow me to get out what was in me and help me deal with the trauma of watching my mama take her last breath. She helped me process all of that so that I can get to a place where I can be strong enough and I can be confident enough that I can be on this camera today pouring into you and letting you know that, hey, it does not have to be like this forever. You can grow through this. You can get to the other side of it. But it takes sometimes being willing to enlist the service of those people who are anointed and equipped to help you walk through the process. Sometimes people mean well. I had friends, I had people in my life that meant well. They tried to help me, but they just didn't have what it took. Because for one thing, they had never walked a mile in my shoes. They never understood the void that I felt in my heart for my mama. And so some things that they said were insensitive. It wasn't intentional, but it was insensitive. So God had to raise up somebody that was anointed, that was patient, that was supportive, and that would take the time to listen. Listen with the intent to serve. She didn't listen just to hear my sob story. She listened with the intent to serve. She listened to what I needed so that she could be able to come back with an answer from the Father that would minister to me, that would give me the stamina and the strength that I needed to be able to get back up and take my life and take control of the assignment that I had left here on the earth. There's still work left to do. There's still things that God is requiring of you. And yes, it is hard some days. Some days I can't even pretend to you and act like there are not going to be days when life knocked the wind out of you. Some days it's hard, but there's nothing too hard for God. Not even the weight of grief is nothing too hard for him. He understands and he have a answer and a solution even for this. But you have to take it to him. You have to be willing to accept his help even in this place. So many times we hold on to things that we think that this is mine. I got to keep this to myself. I don't need to give this to God. But this thing that near and dear to your heart, he cares about. It matters to the Father. And you have to be willing to give it to him. When I looked up the definition for the word cast, All right, can you hear me now? The mic died, so I had to get the other mic. Hope you can hear me now. But God can give you a healthy way to process your grief. He can give you everything that you need to get through this process. And I love how God is so concerned about us. He loves us enough that He will take the time to carve out space and time to deal with those things that are heavy on our hearts and those things that we think that nobody else grabs, nobody else gets but us. But God will raise up people to let you know that, hey, even in this place, you're not by yourself. You're not alone. I get it. Trust me. I totally understand what it's like to just be struggling some days, to just breathe because you had somebody that meant the world to you is gone on. You had somebody that meant the world to you and now you can't do the things that you value with them anymore. So I get it. Trust me, I do. And now I'm in a place right now where I'm growing in my walk with God, and I'm thanking God that the things that matter to Him matter to me, matter to Him. I'm thankful that He raised up in the midst of all of the process of me walking through my grief, me going through the hard places. He sent people that would nurture me, that would support, that will encourage me, and that will take the time to just listen and cover me in prayer and give me real answers when I didn't even know, that I needed the answers or that I even know that they could even be there in that moment. He raised up people like that. And so I'm grateful and I'm praying that I can be that same asset to you. I'm praying that this podcast and these times when I come on Saturday are opportunities for you to get what you need to be able to get to the other side of it. This whole month, I'm going to dedicate this every Saturday this month to taking the time to help people process grief. So I'm bringing in people who I know who's equipped, who has the anointing on their life to help you walk your way through the process. Am I going to be able to tell you that's going to be done this month? No, I can't tell you that. But I do tell you, I am going to be able to tell you that you will be able to have some tools that will help you handle it better, you know. And so, like I said, for me, when it came down to the loss of my mama, I had to find ways to honor her. And I found ways. First thing I did was get into fit camp. Then I started getting into school. And then now even with my ministry, I'm working and I'm doing things to honor her legacy so that I can be able to keep what she poured into me alive. She taught me so much. And I know that it didn't fall on deaf ears. I know my mama walked the floor many nights praying for me. She was praying for me to become a woman of God. And now I'm walking in this place because my mama loved me enough and she paved the way in the realm of the spirit for me. And so I just want to encourage you that there were things that those people who are gone on have done before you. They're prayers that are being fulfilled in your life because they were sacrificial and they gave even when they didn't have it to give, and they poured and they served, and those seeds are going to continue to produce a harvest in your life. There are things that you have yet to see manifest in your life. And God loves you so much that He want to get you to a place where you can be able to embrace the steps that He has already set out for you in the spirit. You can be able to rise. Thank you for sharing. This has blessed me. And this afternoon, my relationship with my mom isn't great. Hey, I get it. I get it. Trust me, there were times in my relationship with my mama that weren't great. But at the end of the day, in the whole full grand scheme of things, I've come to a place where I understand that her heart, I understand her desire was to make things better for me. And I fought it for a while. I fought a lot of things that she tried to teach me. I was one of the reasons why she spent so much time walking the floor, interceding for me, is because I was very rebellious. I was very rebellious. And she tried to teach me what was right, and I tried to do what I wanted to do. And so she had to pray and she had to fight for me to get to the place that I'm at now. So I thank God that I had a mama that fought for me. But I also think I know, I'm not trying to make my mom out to be some savior or anything like that. She was a woman. She was a person, and I understand that there was some character flaws that God had to work out of her that I didn't necessarily like, and there was some things that I could go back and I could point fingers at if I wanted to pick my mama apart, and I could blame all those things. But I understand this now that I am a mama. My son is 27, and I know that there were things that I didn't do. I didn't do everything right, and I thank God for His grace. I tried, and that's all that any of us can do. I showed up. I tried to be there for my son. I tried to give him love, and I tried to make sure he had the best life. And there are things, that I didn't do everything right, and I thank God for His grace. So even in that, when our parents don't do everything right, we have to be willing to extend to them grace. We have to understand that they're people too, and they're going through a growing phase, and they're maturing, and there are things that they have that God is yet working on them in. And so when we understand that, we handle our relationships with our parents from a different perspective. And you just have to thank God that, hey, she loved you. She gave birth to you. She brought you in this world. She didn't have to do that. She could have easily made another decision, and you know what I mean. But because she was willing to bring you into this world, even in that, that's enough. That's enough for her to deserve honor. That's enough for you to celebrate the fact that she took the hard road by giving birth. Now, did she have everything in her that she needed? Maybe not, but sometimes life don't always deal us a good hand. And sometimes as parents we don't make all the right decisions because we don't know what's better. But at the end of the day, if is your mom still alive? If your mom is still alive, that means that there's still room for growth. There's still an opportunity for your relationship to be restored. There's still opportunity. See, that's still space. There's still space for healing. There's still room for your relationship to improve. Me and my daddy don't have the best relationship either, but I thank God that I'm here. He's still here, and God is still giving us space to connect, to be able to for Him to heal and Him to continue to do a work in His life. So you pray for your mama. Pray for your mama to get healed, for her to get what she needs. Pray that God teach you how to minister to your mama, how to be supportive of your mama, and how to help your mama. Sometimes I love her, and every opportunity I try to be there, and that's all that matters. You try every opportunity to be there. I tried every opportunity to be there for my mama, and I thank God at the end, our relationship was so much better because I stopped being so booking on everything that she tried to teach me, and I started sitting down and listening and starting to be supportive and try to be encouraging. And so at the end, the relationship that I had with my mama was so much better than it was in the beginning. But it took God's intervention. It took the Lord showing up and showing me how to be for my mama what she needed me to be, how to be patient with my mama, how to be supportive of my mama. A lot of things that I had to go through as a kid, I blame my mama for a lot of things that I had to go through. I was so traumatized by a lot of things that I experienced in life, and my heart was so damaged, and I was angry with her about a lot of things. But God had to help me realize that we only have one enemy, and that's Satan. And when we understand that they do the best that they can, sometimes their best may not necessarily fall within the right grounds that we wanted to fall in. But at the end of the day, they show the fact that they chose to give us life. They chose to show up when they could have given us up. They could have not. All those things matter. And even if you had a mama that gave you up, then thank God that she was mature enough to understand that she couldn't serve you, and she gave you to somebody who could. Sometimes we don't understand that that's a hard road to take, right? They make a hard decision, and maybe your life is better because they chose to give you up. It's a sad thing, everybody have the ability. Every woman that's created in the world have the ability to give birth, but not every woman has the capacity to mother. Some people do not have what it takes to be somebody's mama. And I'm sorry, some of these people who chose to keep their children should have chose to give their children to somebody else. They chose to keep their children because they want to save face with people, but they didn't have what they needed to train their children. They didn't show love. They weren't supportive of their kids. They didn't teach their kids right, and they really should have given them up. And some of these kids suffer because people are selfish and they're willing to try to protect pride will make them stay in a place that they ain't even equipped to stay in. If you ain't willing to do the work and be willing, let me tell y'all something. I gave birth to my son. I was 16 years old. I was 16 years old. I was a kid myself. I ain't know what I was doing, but at the same time, I love my son enough that I sat down and I got taught how to be a mama. I sat down and I began to stop putting my own needs above his and taking the time to realize that I had a role and a responsibility to play in his life. So I made a conscious decision to get myself together so that he could have what he needed. Thank you for the support of my live goal. I thank you for the support. But I was 16 when I had my baby. I didn't know how to be no mama. I had no idea. And he had the first few years of his life was probably rougher than it should have been. If I'm being real honest about my path in life, it was rougher than it should have been because I was a kid trying to do adult stuff. So now that I'm mature, I thank God for His grace. I thank God for His mercy for teaching me how to be a mama, teaching me how to love my child, and teaching me how to be there for him when he need me the most. Am I perfect? No, I'm not. But I'm still striving to be more like Christ so that I can be able to be there, to be supportive and to listen and to acknowledge the fact that, hey, I ain't do it all right. I didn't. I didn't. I shortchanged him a lot because I had a child as a teenager when I didn't have what he needed me to have. I didn't even know enough about life to be somebody's mama. So I get it. But at the same time, we have to learn how to course correct. We have to be in a place where we can be honest about where we are and we can go before God and get instructions for Him so He can teach us how to be better versions of ourselves. I'm striving to be a better version of myself, even including how I handle grief and how I handle the weight of what life throws at me. I'm striving to be a better version of myself. And so I want to encourage you to work on you, to be realistic, to be honest about where you are, to accept responsibility for the mistakes that you made. We think when we get in Christ, oh, all our mistakes just go away. I beg to differ. There are consequences. You still have to walk out those consequences. You still have to experience, God still requires for you to go back and fix some things that you messed up. So at the end of the day, there's some things that are required of us. It's required of us. And if we're going to be free, if we're going to get rid of the invisible bars in our life, we have to be willing to ask ourselves the hard questions. We have to be honest about where we are. And we have to accept responsibility for what we messed up. Some things I messed up in life. Some things I didn't handle right. And I had to go back and I had to be honest with God and say, okay, God, I don't understand. I'm in Christ now, but I'm not fruitful. I'm not producing fruit in my life. What's the problem? What am I doing wrong? And I had to be honest with God about the things that I had in my heart. God gave me an analogy and in an analogy he showed me. He said, it's like you got a room that's cluttered. It's full of junk and somebody tell you to clean up that room. You clean it up, you sweep all your mess up and you hide it up under a rug. And then the people when they enter the room, they looking at it and they thinking that room is clean when the truth of the matter it's not. That's how our lives are. Many of the things that we have not dealt with is in our hearts. And we need thank you for coming in. Thank you for getting your daily heart me. I appreciate y'all for entering the room. I started this live out talking about grief, the weight of grief and helping people process their feelings concerning grief. And so many times God is calling us to a place of honesty and transparency with Him. We have to get to a place where we can be real about where we are. And honest, the truth of the matter is when I first lost my mama, I was a wreck. I was in a raw place. I was emotionally damaged and I was not in a place where I can have healthy relationships with people. And so my husband had to be honest with me and he had to say, baby, I can't help you. You need some help. And at first, I was like, how dare you tell me I need help? But the truth of the matter is, I knew I needed help. I knew that I needed somebody that was professional, who understood where I was, who could really be real with me, and who could be patient with me, and who could help me walk through the process of grief, because I was sharing a testimony about how I'm working in a doctor's office and I had a patient come in that had been talking to me about my mama before, and he asked me how is mama. That's all he said was how is mama, and it sent me on a downward spiral. I was hyperventilating and literally had to walk out of the room and go into the other room and pull myself together because I couldn't get past the statement. He just asked me, how is your mama? I said, my mama died. I'm sorry, my mama's no longer here. That's what I said. And I walked away and I just freaked out. Our relationship was never the same after I responded that way, because I didn't know what to do with those feelings. I wasn't trying to be mean to him. I just was raw in a place. He opened up a wound that I didn't even really, I had capped because I learned how to not speak about him, but he caught me off guard, and so what was in me poured out in that moment. And God had to raise up a spiritual counselor that was mature and that was sensitive and that was able to help me get through those raw moments and get through the place where I couldn't sleep, get through the place where I'm just on edge and angry and full of anxiety and frustrated. He had to send me somebody that was loving and that was supportive and that was patient and that would take the time to say, hey, listen, I get it. But you know what? You can get through this. You can make it through this season. It's hard. Oh, it's hard. But it ain't nothing too hard for God. He loves you and He cares about what matters to you. And I had to really live out First Peter 5:7. I had to really get to the place. Thank you for sharing out the live, sis. I appreciate your support. I really had to walk it out. I had to get to the place where I literally understood. Hey, friend, thank you for coming into the room. I had to get to the place where I literally understood that I could throw how I felt about my mama being gone at Jesus' feet. I had to really literally get to the place where I could say, God, I can't take this thing. It's so hard for me. I can't hardly breathe. Getting up every day is a struggle. I don't even know how I'm gonna make it from day to day. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And I had to just be vulnerable and just be real with God and just be honest about where I was and just say, God, I need you because I can't make it through this season. I'm frustrated. I'm on edge and I'm yelling at people who ain't did nothing to me, and I just don't know how I'm gonna make it through this season. Be real with them. Be transparent, because at the end of the day, He already know where you are. He already understands what you need, but He love you enough that He will allow you to walk through those feelings. He'll allow you to accept the fact that this season is so hard for me, God. My heart is so heavy and I don't know how to get through this. I can't breathe, God. I need you to be the air in my lungs, God. I need you to dry my tears. I need you to bring peace when I can't even understand this thing. And I don't understand. It's so hard for me. And they don't need, they too busy and nobody won't take my calls and nobody don't care about what I'm going through. Everything, every range of emotions. It's all right to have it. You can have whatever temper tantrum, whatever you need to have right there in the presence of God. And you can be transparent and you can be real about what you feel and you can talk to Him about what's on your heart. And at the end of the day, He will bring answers. He will raise up people that are saying, hey, listen, you know what? I had you on my mind today. I just need, can we just go, can we have lunch today? Can we just have the chance? That's true support. That's genuinely helping somebody carry their burden. You showing up at their house and saying, hey, listen, I'm here. I came over and I see that, you need some help cleaning your home. Let me help you get out of this place. Let me help tidy some things up for you. What can I do? How can I be of service to you today? I know it's hard. I know you just don't want to get out of bed today, but sis, come on, you need to get up. You can't keep laying there in that place. You can't keep staying. Thank you for the cake, sis. I appreciate you. You can't keep staying in that place. You see, God still have need of you. He's still calling you even in this season, even though it's hard, and even though the tears that just won't keep being your meat day and night, and even though you don't even know, how to hold your head up in this season, but God love you. He love you. He still have a plan for your life. He still have purpose even in this pain. And so much is being birthed out of this season. You may not understand it right now. You ain't understanding the strength. You ain't understanding the courage that you're going to come out of this with. But trust me, trust and believe that God ain't brought you this far to leave you. He ain't forgot about you. He's concerned about what matters to you. He's made this space and time just for you. He took the time to pour into you. He took the time to help you recognize that what matters to you matters to him. He's concerned about you. Even that hard place, even that broken thing, it matters to God. It matters to him. And he could put you on the wheel and he can mend the damage that life do. Let me tell you something. Some things about life. Life will come in and it will impact us to a point and it will shatter us in times. And there's so much damage that can be done from life experiences. And sometimes we can feel like we're so damaged that there's nothing left to the pieces. These pieces don't have no value. There ain't nothing I can do with it. But I promise you, God will put you back together, and He will put you on the potter's wheel, and He'll make you afresh. And when He get done, baby, listen, the beauty that'll come out of it, the growth that'll come out of it, the wisdom that'll come out of it, the advancement that'll come out of you enduring the hard seasons, you being in a place of yield and surrender to God. Listen, I'm telling you that the bars may be invisible, but the limitation is real. The weight of grief is real. Them bars is invisible. People may not see how much this grief is costing you, but I promise you, God is here. He has sent the anointing to dismantle those bars. He has a desire to bring you out. He just has a desire to heal and to mend and to renew, to restore all that the locust, all that the cankerworm, all that the caterpillar have eaten up in your life. I promise you, God can do it. He desires to do it. He has a plan. He still got a plan. His plan is his thoughts towards you are good. They are not evil. His thoughts towards you are good. They are not evil. He is going to bring you to an expected end. But it takes you being willing to say, okay, God, listen. Listen, God, I'm taking my hands off of this thing. I can't handle the weight of this grief. This thing's so heavy for me to carry. And I'm in a place right now, Lord, where I'm surrendering. I'm surrendering this heartbreak to you. I'm surrendering this emptiness to you. I'm surrendering this void to you because I need you. I need you to make a way when I can't see my way. I need you to dry my tears, God. I need you to help me stand. Help me stand again. He'll give you strength to stand. Even when it feel like you can't stand no more, you feel like your knees is buckling because the weight of grief is so heavy. You feel like your knees is buckling, but he gonna give you the strength to stand. I'm telling you, I am a living witness. I promise you. For me to sit here right now with this picture on my shirt, my little sister, she just like I'm standing here right now. I was able to lean on her most of my life. God took her home in 2022, and it was so hard for me to keep showing up in my life because I had her for 38 years. 38 years. Every day you talk to somebody for 38 years. Every day, y'all, every time you get ready to go through any hard season in your life, they covering you in prayer. They showing up out of nowhere because they connected to you. They divinely connected to you. It was bigger than just a physical connection. We was divinely connected. We walked through life together. I ain't have no sister that I warred with. I had a sister that loved me. I had a sister that called me and showed up for me and sacrificed and gave and did and everything. But she didn't just do it for me. She did it for everybody she encountered. People see my sister that when I tell you when she transitioned, doctors was like, thank you for the privilege to be at her memorial because she made an impact on their life to a point they stopped their business to come and serve to be there because they knew the impact that she had in their life. That was the kind of sister I had, and now she gone on, and it was so hard for me to show up. It was so hard for me to show up in my own life at times. But God loved me so much that He raised up people that said, "Hey, listen." I'm gonna tell you. I want to just tell you about. I was literally going through her phone, calling and saying, "Hey, listen, I just need to let you know that my sister passed." Oh, my angel, my angel! They were like freaking out, and I'm like consoling people left and right because she had such an impact on their life. So they were like, "Oh my God, don't tell me that I can't get her calls no more. Don't tell me she won't show up and feed me anymore. Don't tell me that she's not gonna be here to help my child to do this." I had to literally go down the line and say, "Hey, listen, I don't want you to be alarmed. I don't want you to be, but I need to let you know she's no longer with us." What? I can't believe it, because she had that much of an impact on people. But God, but God will raise up people that are so sensitive and that are so nurturing. They'll put themselves to the side and they'll take care of you. And so in that moment, I began to hear such beautiful stories and so many things that I didn't even know existed, because God knew I needed that reassurance that her labor was not in vain. I needed to be reminded that He used her to a full capacity in other people's lives. Literally, we had the conference last year, and I had her picture on the conference, and a lady showed up at the conference, and the lady was like, "Wait a minute, I didn't know." And she said, "Where my sister at?" And they was looking for her, and I said, "Uh, she passed away." "Oh my God, I came to the conference because I thought she was gonna be here." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you didn't know." But at the end of the day, that was just letting me know, even from the grave, her impact that she's having on people's lives. People literally drawn to her because of the impact that she had when she was here. And so I don't take her off my flyers. I don't take her off my events, because at the end of the day, she was the visionary for Breaking Free from Invisible Bars. This was her work, and I'm fulfilling her assignment that she gave. She left the passed the mantle on to me. So I'm here now, being willing to continue to do the work. And sometimes that we have to honor people's legacy. We can't write them out of our story just because they're not here. I understand that her labor of love birthed this place so that I can be able to have a platform to be able to minister to you guys. And I'm not putting her in a place of a deity or anything like that. Trust and believe me, I know that this is an ordained ministry from God. So I'm not by any means am I putting my sister to a place where I'm idolizing her. Yeah, good day to you too as well, brother. But I'm honoring the legacy that she left behind. And so my way of honoring her memory is by continuing the work that she started. Thank you for getting your daily heart me. I appreciate you for coming into the room. I'm talking right now about the weight of grief, and I'm talking about how to process it healthy. And I'm talking about how God will give us what we need to get up from a place and still fulfill purpose in life, even when our hearts are broken, even when we're in a place where we're struggling with a certain thing. God will give you just what you need to be able to fulfill your assignment in the earth. And thank you for sharing for the gifts. I appreciate you. But God loves us. He loves us so much that He concerned about our needs. And so I'm here today. I'm here today as an act of obedience to share with those people who may be where I was, who may be in a place where their heart is broken and they need somebody to listen. They need somebody to support, and somebody to take the time to help them recognize, hey, I see you. I get it. And I'm here to offer aid and support. And that's why I'm here today, to offer aid and support. I chose this whole month, every Saturday at noon, I'll be coming on TikTok and I'll be sharing, and I'll bring guests on to help minister to those people who are struggling right now, who may need some healthy tips on how to process grief, on how to move past that place. Nobody is saying, thank you for the team cheers. I appreciate the support. Nobody is saying to you that you have to disregard. Thank you for the popular vote. I appreciate it. Nobody is saying to you that you have to disregard the fact that your loved one existed. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, even though they existed and even though your heart is broken behind what happened, you have to be to a place where you can still live and you can still be productive in life. And God will give you just what you need. So thank y'all for engaging with each other in the comment. I appreciate y'all for helping keeping the live chat flowing. But God will give you what you need. He's raising up people that are going to be concerned about what's going on with you, that'll be patient enough, that will offer aid to you in your hard place. So in this hard place, God is raising up people that are equipped and that are sensitive and that are supportive and that are willing to pour into you just what you need to be able to get through this season. You're showing out in here today, ain't you, bro? Thank you so much. So I appreciate you. God is in a place right now. He's raising up genuine believers who will be sensitive to the needs of the people and who are going to be willing to serve to the capacity that he desires for your people to get breakthroughs. And so breaking free from invisible bars is designed to be able to tackle hard things. We're shedding light on gray areas in people's lives so that people can find freedom. So many times we don't realize that we're in captivity because this thing, it just seemed natural, right? It seemed natural to allow grief to overshadow your life. It just seemed natural to just be in a place of in a low place and be sad and all those things. It just seemed natural. And it is. It's okay because there is a necessary part of grieving to grieve healthily to release tears. And I'm not saying that that's not okay, but you have to be mindful that you don't get stuck in that place. Sometimes we get stuck in part of the grieving process of the depression part of the grieving process, and then we don't realize we're forfeiting great opportunities and opportunities to grow and opportunities to really embrace life. We got to continue to live. We got to reach a place where we find peace in the fact that they transition. I ain't saying that you don't honor their legacy. I ain't saying you're not celebrating the fact that they exist. You do all of those things. You do whatever. You got to cry for a day or two, cry for a day or two, and then get back up and move. And if it come back again, you might cry for a day or two and get up and move. But at the end of the day, what you have to do is find ways to honor the legacy and continue to live and strive and do your part while you're here on the earth. Because at the end of the day, if you are a believer and they were believers, then you know to be absent for the body is to be present with the Lord. And then you also understand that there'll come a day when you'll be reunited. And so you understand that, hey, it's not the end. It's not the end. I know that we make it so final. We make it seem like, oh, it's over because their physical body is no longer here. But at the end of the day, when the time comes, our spirits will be reunited again. So we just live our way so that we can live with them eternally in heaven. So we can get beyond that place. But we have to get to a place where while we're here on earth, we process the loss. It's okay. It's okay to be realistic, to be honest about where you are. You can't get help if you don't know, if you're not forthcoming with the fact that you're struggling. Be real. You can't share it with everybody because everybody ain't in a place where they're ready to receive all that you're going through. But there are some people who are concerned. There are some people who are designed by God, who have been anointed by God, who've been imparted with the wisdom and the courage that they need to be able to minister to your needs. But we have to be willing to receive it. Nobody's gonna search you out and make you sit down and make you receive help. No, you're gonna have to be mature and you're gonna have to be honest with yourself and say, hey, I need help. And then when you're open and you're ready to receive, then God will send that person in to help you and give you what you need to be able to get up, be able to go forward in life. The help is available. It's available to you, but you got to be willing and ready to receive it. He raising up people every day who's sensitive, who's in it, who's listening to the Father, who's willing to obey, and who's saying, "Hey, I'll help you. I can walk this thing with you. I can walk. We can walk through the healing process." And yes, this thing started out with grief, but it's so much more that we can need help with. Not just grief. We got other areas in our lives that we can get help in, but you can't get help if you're not willing to admit that you need it. You got to be honest with yourself about, hey, I need it. Right now I'm struggling. Whether you're struggling with grief or you're struggling with low self-esteem, anxiety, fear, all of it. It's help available for whatever your struggle is. No, 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 not today. Acknowledge it, accept it, be willing to. I don't know. somebody trying to, I guess, battle me. I don't know what he's trying to do, but I'm not interested. But be willing to acknowledge it. Thank you for getting your daily heart me. Be willing to acknowledge it. Be willing to accept, hey, listen, right now this thing is bigger than me. I don't care what the thing is. The thing that I started this conversation out with was grief. But your bar could be something totally different. Maybe you ain't struggling with grief. Maybe you may be struggling with trauma that you experienced in life. Whatever your struggle is, you have to be willing to accept the fact that, hey, I can't handle this thing on my own and I need somebody to come in and help. And God has raised up people who are sensitive, right? Health. It could be your health. There are health coaches out here. There are people who be willing to teach you the techniques. And when they come in and they teach you how to eat right, Apex Holistic is in the room. He can help you with tools with health. If you go follow him. Brother, make a comment so I can try to, let them see who you are. Apex Holistic is in the room. He can teach you, healthy, holistic approaches on how to really be able to facilitate your health. There are people in the room who are equipped. I'm trying to see if he's still here or not. Let me see. But he in the room. He been sharing. There you go. Let me see if I can get him to comment so that y'all can see who he is. Cause he got a lot of wisdom. He been doing a lot of studies and he can help you guys. No, not coming up. Oh, I got you. Thank you. All right. Now I just want you to comment. There you go. There you go. Right there. That's Apex Holistic. I totally understand, but I'm just telling them that you are there and they can utilize your services if they need help with their health. She mentioned health as one of the things that she may need help with, but ultimately there are things that people are in need of that God has raised up people in this hour that can help you, and they can reach out. You can reach out to these people and you can get the support that you need so that they can be able to aid you on your journey. There are people, hey, you're welcome. I appreciate your live support. You came in and being a blessing to me, and I want to make sure I do the same to you. But there are people who have the wisdom spiritually, who has the natural knowledge, all those things. There are people who are available, who will service you, who will give you what you need. But you have to. Only way you're going to be able to get the help that you need is if you're honest about where you are and you're realistic about the fact that you're in need of the help. So be honest about what you help with. Coach Darrell was in here earlier. He helping a lot of people. He's sharing with people. Miss Red is in the building. She is helping people lay the foundation in the spirit. It's so many people who are equipped to help you walk through life that are in this room. Be willing to connect with people who are sensitive. Speak Life with Soul has been such a blessing. I listened and I gained so much wisdom from her. And there are people who God has raised up in your life. If you really take a chance to look, there are people that have been assigned to you, who's willing, who shows up on a regular basis, and maybe you just have not been forthcoming with them about where you are and about what you need. But if you open up your mouth, then you can get the support and you can get the help that you need to be able to get through the season that you're in. Now, like I said, not everybody's struggling with grief. Some people maybe you hadn't felt what I felt with losing somebody near and dear to your life, but maybe your struggle is, like I said, is low self-esteem. Maybe your struggle is fear. Whatever the case may be, there are people who are designed to help you with this thing. Um, God is raising up people who are concerned about what matters to him, matters to other people. And they're really, thank you so much for the popular vote. They are willing. They are willing vessels. They willing. Delisha was in here earlier. Delisha helps people with autistic children. She has an autistic son, and she has a viral video here on this platform about her son getting to the point where he's able to speak. She's equipped to help people work through that process. There are people here on this app that really can service you, really can minister to your need, and you have to be willing to be receptive of what they have to offer, and being willing to sit down and say, hey, listen, I need you to help me walk through this process. Whether it's business, Tip the Loctician, she got so many, she helping so many people build their business. If you go on, she's on this platform and she is a woman of God. She is devoted to what she's doing. She's helping. Unlock Her is another person that's on this platform. She is helping women that find their worth and see their value. And she shares her lives. She was in here early. It's so many people that have come through this room that are equipped that will help you. Even with monetization and things like that, Brit Brat will help you with the monetization. Tara, Black Taboo. Those are live hosts who have the ability to teach you techniques on how to actually utilize this platform and get your most out of it. So it don't matter what you need. There is help. There's help available to you, and God will give you just what you need. But you have to be willing to admit, hey, listen, I'm lost in this area. I'm struggling in this area. I need support. I need help. I need wisdom. I need insight. And when you're honest about where you are and you're willing and open to receive, God will give you those people who are connected to you, who are willing to pour into you. The faithologist on this app, I know her personally. She will help impart into you, teach you wisdom keys, teach you how to actually walk in your prophetic gift. She teaches a lot on faith. She teaches a lot on wisdom. And I really have been she's been such a blessing to me. She published my book. So if you need a book, you need a publishing company, get with Faithologist. I promise you, the Faithologist will be a tremendous blessing to you. That she will walk you through the process. But there are people here on this app. Thank you so much. People here on this app that are really genuine people who love God for real and who will give you just what you need to be able to help walk in your purpose, help fulfill your assignment here. But you have to be honest about, hey, right now I need help. Coach Trish was a blessing. I promise you, if you need a therapist, you need somebody to help you process emotional healing, Coach Trish is that's your go to. That is my spiritual covering, and she is my therapist for real. And she took time when I was in that vulnerable raw place. I promise you, Coach Trish was a blessing to me. She just building her platform here on TikTok, but I promise you, she is definitely a tremendous blessing. She loves God's people, and she will even ain't no distance. She'll do it even on a video chat. She's affordable and she's supportive, and she loves God's people for real. But I just came on just to encourage people's heart, just to pour out what God has given to me and let you guys know that you are not in this world alone. You don't have to go through none of your hard places by yourself. God loves you so much that He's raising up genuine people that are concerned about what matters to you. They're concerned about your needs and they're willing to put themselves to the side and minister to your needs. And so you have to be open to receive. A lot of the people that came into my life that poured into me, that took the time to even last week I had my best friend on the platform, and we shared our testimony about how when I met her as a friend I was guarded, and I really did was not looking for a friend. I did not want a friend because in my mind I felt like I needed to do life by myself. I had so many people that had hurt me. I was in a place where I was not willing to open up and let people in anymore. But like she said, I saw a crack. I saw a little space where I could get in, and she kept coming back. She kept showing up, even when I wasn't invited, even when I wasn't receptive at times. She kept showing up. And because she kept showing up and she was patient with me, God gave me a friend for life. We became friends back in 2011, I want to say, and now it's 2025. You saw us on the live. Those who came into the room saw us on the live last week. We love each other just the same as we did back then. But back then, I wasn't. I was so hurt. I was so wounded that I wasn't ready to receive friends. But she was patient with me, and she was willing to keep saying, "Girl, what's wrong with you? Keep showing up." And every time, before I know it, that frown was turned upside down. I started smiling. I started enjoying life. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about being in a place where I didn't know Christ. I had been walking with God. I had been walking with God for, I want to say what, back then, that's 20. I had been walking with God at least 10 or 12 years, but because I had experienced hurt, even in the church, I had had ministers and stuff like that that was supposed to cover me that dropped me. They didn't nurture me the way that they're supposed to. They really caused damage. And so what happened is I shut up. I isolated myself and I disconnected from people. I love God. I ain't changed my heart towards God, but I stopped letting people in because I stopped trusting after me letting people in who was supposed to minister to me, who took advantage of me, who did not protect me, who didn't pour into me. So I stopped letting people in my world. But God knew I needed somebody. He knew that my heart was hurting and I needed support. So he sent a friend in and he sent somebody in that was led by his spirit that would take the time to peel back the layers and see past the hard exterior and see the heart of the person that I was. Because even though I was guarded, even though I had my walls up, trying not to let people in, I still had a good heart, and it was seen. It was evident that I still loved, even though I didn't feel like I could let people into that capacity. So she was able to get through that crack in my heart shell, to reach my heart to a point where I was able to see there were genuine people still out there. There's still people who love God for real, who willing to be patient with you, who's willing to allow you to walk through a hard place and show you that there is still a genuine love of God that exists. His love covers a multitude of faults. And so even when I was in a place of anger and vulnerability and shut upness, but God came in and he healed. He came in and he raised up people to pour into me and to encourage me and to help me become a healthy version of myself. And so now I'm past that place and my bars have come down. I took down that I literally in my head had told myself I don't like people. I really had gotten to a point where I didn't want to deal with folks. I don't need people. I'm just gonna show up and do what I gotta do and go home. I ain't need nobody in my world no more because I was hurting, because I was angry, because I had let so much stuff overshadow the life that God desired for me to live. But He loved me enough that He ministered to my needs. He ministered to my needs. Listen, sis, you don't have to work on it. Just surrender it. Let Him do it. See, I couldn't fix that part of me. I could not dismantle those things. I had gotten to a point where I had been damaged so much that I didn't know how to get out of that place. And I didn't know what to do. But God anointing came in and he did a work in my heart and he began to send words of encouragement and he began to send me love and he began to raise up people that was concerned about what I needed. And he taught me how to love again. He taught me how to be more open and receptive to those people that he was sending in to minister to me. But it took me surrendering to God, those broken places. It took me, forgiveness is for you. It is not for the other person. See, I had it misconstrued. I thought in my head that if I forgave the other person would benefit. But the truth of the matter is, them folks already done moved on with their life. They don't need me to forgive. The forgiveness was for me. I needed to get it out of my heart so that I could move forward. Because see, what they had done to me, I allowed that thing to cause me to be in captivity. And so in order for me to be free, I had to forgive. I had to release what they had done. I had to release the feelings of abandonment. I had to release the anger. I had to release those things that I thought that I was holding on to, that I needed. The Lord said, "You holding on to your inadequacies like they trophy. You holding on to this broken place, and you holding on to this thing like it's serving you. It's not serving you. I need you to release it so that I can show you that there's a better way. I still have life left in you. I still got work for you to do. And so I need you to release it so I can cause you to walk in purpose. Understand that even those hard places were necessary. Why were they necessary? Because it was chiseling away character flaws. It was chiseling away brokenness and things that those feelings of self control. You're not in control. God is. And when you understand that your life is not your own, when you understand it's not about you, it's not about what you want or what you need, it's about fulfilling his purpose, his assignment in the earth, then you'll operate differently. Then you'll handle things differently. You'll stop trying to make your life yours and make it do what he called you to do. See, he got a will and he's got a plan for your life. And you got to get out of his permissive will into his divine will. See, I didn't know. I didn't know I was doing what I wanted to do with the life that God had given me. And I made my path hard because I was doing it my way instead of doing his. But when I got out of his way and I reached a place where I said, okay, God, not my will, but your will be done, my life became easier. Was it perfect? No. Is it perfect? No. But it was better. It was better because I got out of the way and I stopped making things hard for me. I stopped trying to climb uphill. Let me tell you something. I was talking to one of my coworkers the other day, and they were singing that song about climbing the rough side of the mountain. I said, baby, listen, that is not biblical, and I ain't got time for that. I'm not climbing no rough side of nobody's mountain. God told me in the word to speak to the mountain, and the mountain be moved. I ain't got no desire to climb not one mountain, not in that aspect. Now, I've climbed mountains just because for physical activity, but I'm talking about spiritual. I ain't climbing nobody's mountain. I'm speaking to them. I'm commanding in faith those mountains to move out of my way because I understand biblical principles and I understand that that is out of order. I ain't got time. I'm not taking no rough path nowhere. No, I want God to show me, order my steps. Lead me, guide me, God, so that it can be easy. My transition and my growth can be easier because being led by your spirit, not my flesh going up uphill battle. That's your flesh. I ain't warring and fighting my way up nothing. No, God, show me. Give me wisdom. Give me the insight. Teach me how to walk through this thing. Teach me, God. Surrender. When you reach a place of surrender, when you reach a place of yielding, then you'll find great success in life. But when long as I was trying to fight this battle and do my own thing and command the thing to happen and forcing all that, my life was so hard. It was so tedious when I was doing it that way. But when I got over in God and I realized that you got a better way, you desire to bring peace, you desire to give me strength and give me courage to endure life. Now I'm doing things a whole lot easier. And I understand that I got a friend, I got a confidant, I got somebody that loves me, that desires to teach me and guide me and support me in life. So I'm leaning on that. Ain't climbing no roof side of no mountain. I'm done with all that. Mm-mm. I ain't going against the grain no more. I'm yielding and I'm flowing with the Holy Spirit. I'm not bucking against what He desired to do in me anymore. I promise you, it was years where I fought my gift, I fought my calling. In my mind, it was hard for me to wrap my brain around the fact that he called me, anointed me for such a time as this, to do this, to operate in a place of when he could release prophetic words to me. For a long time, I fought it, but now I'm yielding. I'm surrendering to God. God, use me however you see fit. Speak through me. I want to be a vessel that you can flow through. I want to honor you. I want to do what you want me to do, not what I want to do. My life is not my own. And I understand that. I understand that, hey, there are things that I could be doing today, but I'm doing what he wants me to do. I had no intentions on being on here as long as I have been, but I'm not doing my will. I'm doing God's will because I understand that my life is not my own, and it's only what I do for Christ that's gonna last. So I'm in a place where I'm saying, okay, God, speak to me, guide me, show me what you want me to do. Why have you called me? What did you wake me up for today? What am I supposed to do with this day? These 24 hours that God gave us today is a gift. And what we do with them, it matters. How you handle the gift that he gave you matters. Think about it. If you gave your child a gift and they just handled it any kind of way, just threw it to the side and didn't care about the fact that you gave them a present, how many more gifts you gonna want to give them? And I ain't buying you nothing else. Cause last time I spent all my money and I did all this, you just threw it away. The same thing with your life. Every day God give you, it's a gift. He wants you to embrace it. He wants you to do what's right in it. He want to be honored in your day. Acknowledge him. Take the time to show him, tell him thank you. God, I thank you that you chose to wake me up this morning. You saw fit to clothe me in my right mind. You gave me the use and the activity of my limb. I thank you. It could have been another way. We didn't have to be here today, but he loved us enough that he said, hey, I'm going to give you space. I'm going to give you time to get it right. I'm going to give you the opportunity to be changed, to hear the truth and not just hear it, but embrace it. Take the truth in. Allow those things. Allow him to shine light on those gray areas in your life. There are things in your life that need to be fixed. You need to fix those things in your heart. You know there's things that in your heart that are not right. Those things in your heart that are enmity against God. But you got space. You got time to fix those things. He's shedding light on those gray areas because see, God is coming back for a church. He's coming back for a church without a spot or a wrinkle or any such blemish. He's coming back for a healthy church that's in right standing with him. And it's up to us to be willing to be realistic and be honest with God about where we are. God, I know I messed some things up. If I'm just honest with you, God, like I said, I have to be honest. I didn't do everything right at the moment. It was some stuff that I started off wrong. I was young. I was immature and I ain't handled some things right. I had to go back and I had to repent. I had to get those things right. Why? Because at the end of the day, I'm responsible. I'm accountable for the actions that I have taken. So God, at the end of the day, I want to do it your way. I want to be honorable to you. I want you to get the glory out of my life. How can you get glory out of a life that I ain't yielded to you? That has surrendered to you. How can you get glory out of that? I need to be right. I want to be in right standing with you. I want my life to please you. I want my words to be edifying. I want to be able to stand before you and hear you say, well done, good and faithful servant. I don't want you to tell me, depart from me, you worker of iniquity, because I never knew you. Our motives got to be pure in everything that we do. Everything that we do, it need to be pure. We need to make sure that our heart is right about what we're doing, about what we're saying, about the way we're handling things. We got to make sure our heart is right. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be judged. We think that it's just the word that's going to be judged. No. Judgment starts at the house of God first. We're going to be held accountable for those things that we didn't do right. We're going to be held accountable for every idle word that we allow to proceed out of our mouth. We're going to have to be recognizing, hey, listen, there is a role and there's responsibility, there's accountability that's required when we operating as believers. When we're out here representing God and the way we handle it, and we don't handle it right, we're gonna be held accountable for it. If somebody missed heaven because we didn't get ourselves together, we're gonna be held accountable for it. The Bible said the blood is on your hands when you didn't do it right, when you ain't speaking, you knew that God told you to do a thing and you were disobedient, you were rebellious. The blood is on your hands when somebody missed heaven. You responsible for that because it was your job. If he told you to say something, you need to be obedient. You need to listen and you need to obey. Don't be afraid of men in their faces. Don't be intimidated by it because I don't know what that is. I ain't trying to do no battles. Don't be listening. Don't be intimidated by it. At the end of the day, you have to understand it's only what we do for Christ that's gonna last. When you stand before Him, you gonna hear one or two things. Like I said, you either gonna hear Him say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," or you gonna hear Him say, "Depart from me, you work of iniquity, because I never knew you." So at the end of the day, you earned that. You earned the answer that He gives you. How do you earn the answer that He gives you? You earn it by the way you show up in life. So are you going to be a faithful servant? Are you going to give and yield your member to God and show up when He's telling you to show up and speak when He say speak and behave the way He wants you to behave? Or are you going to Keep saying, God know my heart. He know my heart. He know my heart. It ain't gonna be justifiable. It's not gonna be justifiable. He do know your heart. That's true. And that in itself should be cause you to be in a point of shaking and reverence because he knows your heart. Because you recognize that he know you for real. It ain't what's on the surface. It ain't what you presenting to people. He know your heart. He know what you thinking about a situation. He know how you want to respond. Even those thoughts that you need to cast down, no bad thoughts. He know that too. He know your heart for real. And when you understand that he know your heart for real, you reach a place of true repentance, then you'll behave different. Not just modified, but true repentance is turning. You're gonna turn from it. I'm gonna get this thing right because I'm reverencing, I'm fearing God. I got a reverence and a respect for him as the Lord. I don't do certain things because my reverence and my respect for the Father. I ain't finna do that. Certain conversation you're not gonna see me partaking in. Why? Because I have a reverence and I respect the Father. So I won't do that. When we get to that place and that maturity and that level in God, then we'll start to change for real. We'll start to handle things differently. And God can be able to trust us with assignments, with his people. Then he'll be able to give us what was rightfully ours when we're to a place where we're reverencing and we're respecting him. So y'all, I have thoroughly enjoyed this time that we've shared together. And I pray that something that was said on this live has edified you, has built you up, has given you what you need to endure the hard process. It's hard. It costs us a lot sometimes to be able to walk with God. It does. There's a price that has to be paid for us to be able to walk with God. But I do know this, that nothing, we cannot outgive God. Thank you so much for contributing to my live goal. Thank you for the support. We cannot outgive God, and nothing that we give into the Lord is gonna be not without a harvest behind it. When we sow our seeds of love, when we give and we support the Father, trust me, there is a reward behind it. God will show up and He'll minister to us, and He'll show us that our labor was not in vain. Our labor is not in vain. I love how much God is. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for how God will openly reward us. I'm so grateful for how God will come and see about us. He is so concerned about what matters to us that he carved out this space and time. So I won't take it for granted. I won't take any credit for what God has done in this room today. Everything that has been said and everything has been done is because of his grace. It's because of his mercy. It's because of his love. So we will always honor him for what he desires to do in us and through us. So let me take a moment and pray for you because my phone is getting ready to die and I don't want it to disconnect on us. So I want to pray for you. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I come before you right now, God, thanking you for the privilege and the honor to serve. God, I don't take it for granted the fact that you loved us enough that you made time for us today. I thank you, Lord, for taking care of us and for mending our wounds and for healing the broken places in us. And I pray, Lord, as you continue to do a great and mighty work in the lives of these your people, that you allow them to feel your tangible anointing, breathing afresh upon them and resurrecting those things that seemingly are unalived in their lives. I pray right now, Lord God, that you allow your ministering angels to go before us, paving the way in the realm of the spirit, fighting back everything that want to fight against us and keep us from walking in purpose and fulfilling our assignment in the earth. I pray that you raise up people that are sensitive to the needs of your people, that will take the time to pour into them and to nurture them and to restore all that the locust and cankerworm and caterpillar have eaten up in their lives, God. I thank you right now, Lord God, for turning our situations around for your glory so that when we can rise and we can walk in purpose, people can know it's not by might and it's not by power, but it was by your spirit that these things were able to be done. They will know that you were with us and that you saw fit to come see about us and you helped us get through broken seasons in our lives. And so for that, we tell you thank you. We love you. We honor you. We give you glory. We give you praise. It's in the mighty, matchless name of Jesus that I pray. Amen. Listen, y'all, it's been a blessing to be here, to pour and to listen and to pour out. And I pray that something that was said in this room has ministered to you. Something that was said in this room has given you hope and given you a zeal and a desire to live and to walk in the purpose that God has predestined and ordained for you. Know that your latter will be greater, that God is not finished with you yet. And understand that this is just a temporary season that you're in. Trouble don't last always, and there will be sunshine, there will be joy, there will be peace, there will be things that's going to manifest in your life in the days to come. So you continue to remain anchored and rooted in God. Stay close to the Father and allow Him to restore, allow Him to mend, allow Him to set you on a path, set you back on the right path. So many times life can cause us to deviate from the right plan, right path. But I thank God that He sends words to realign us with His will, realign us with His purpose, and help us to be on the right path, a righteous path. And that's what I love about God. I love Him for bringing order, for restoring, to allowing us to our eyes to come open so that we can see. So many times where our vision is clouded by life. Things come in and it distort our view. But I thank God for coming in and bringing clarity and bringing wisdom and bringing insight and giving us strength to overcome. I hate to leave, but I gotta go for my phone hang up on you guys. But I will be, if it's a little, I may come in tomorrow, but I'll definitely be back Monday at 6 a.m. I come in every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 Eastern Standard Time. And I'll be back next Saturday at 12 noon here on this platform. My guest next Saturday is my spiritual mother, Patricia Anderson. She'll be coming in and tuning in with us. I'm not sure if she has TikTok or not, but I'll find out. If she got TikTok, I'm gonna bring her into this platform. If not, you can definitely catch us at 11 on Facebook. So I'm looking forward to sitting and gleaning from her and having her pour into us as we prepare for the Mother's Day weekend. But y'all have an amazing day, and we will talk real soon. I promise you. I love y'all and I appreciate all that has been done in this room. Every like, every gift, every support is not gone unnoticed. Everywhere, every person that shared their daily heartbeat, all of the stuff, all the things have been greatly appreciated. Even those who just sat in the room, who just listened, I appreciate your presence as well. Don't think for a moment that I don't see you and I don't appreciate just being here is a blessing. Y'all having a great day. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. I gotta go. Bye.